in a second, so I think that people should be able to hear us on YouTube. Yeah, I think people can hear us on YouTube right now. Can hear and see us on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome to another Brick Talk. A second, so I think that people should be able to hear us on YouTube. I'm getting a doubling up of my sound. People can hear us on YouTube right now. Can hear and see us on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome to another Brick Talk. Sorry about that. So I think I have fixed it. So welcome to another Brick Talk, another week's Brick Talk. I believe the people on YouTube can hear me very clearly. Danai, you can still hear me, correct?
Yep, as well.
All right, and that means that everybody that's listening can also hear you on YouTube. Welcome to another Brick Talk, guys. Like with every week, I'm Randy. I'm Randy every week. Still Randy. That's Danai on the other side of the screen. The website that you see below us is mymoneyja.com. And this is Brick Talk, where we talk about whatever the week's topic is. This week, I called it Falling Bricks because of a couple of questions that a few people asked me this week about the market. But of course, as Danai was just saying at the start, we have started off the Friday evening with a bang because we have this wonderful IPO that has presented itself to us. Dollar, right? So I'm sure if anybody was interested, they're definitely interested now. This is a big one. It's a big one, I'm sure, because not only because of the size, but I think because of the excitement and the point in the market where we are, where it's happening. So for one, I'm pretty excited about that. As we tell you every week, let me start off, especially this week, with just get the housekeeping out of the way. In addition to introducing ourselves, Danai is a licensed investment advisor. I am just a regular investor. Nothing that's said on this show should be taken as investment advice. This is not a session with Danai. If you want to do that, go to dhalladvisory.com, get a session for yourself. It has been working out very, very well for the people who have done it. Big up for the people who have done Grow, which is my course that I do every month. The next one is next week, Tuesday. And I've been doing a little thing for the last few Grows where I reserve some slots with Danai for a session with him. I have a couple of them unused still, so the people who come to the next grower, two out of you at least, if not more, will have a chance to meet with Danai. So Danai's schedule is always packed, but it's an opportunity that you guys will have to get in a little bit early. I know somebody from the April split grower got, I think, a session today, Danai. Yeah? Am I correct? Yeah, man, all right. We won't talk to people in business, but I'm sure they're very, very happy to not have to have waited months to see you. So doing that for Grow, or you can just book with Danai himself, D Hall Advisory, but understand that here at Brick Talk, we're just two guys talking about the market. Two guys passionate about investing, the local stock market, talking about it. We're not investment advisors in this moment. Don't take it as investment advice. I think that's clear. I can't stress it enough. And of course, the last thing is that if anybody's interested at all, you can send, and you should send a speaking request to us, and we will talk about whatever you have in mind. No, we always want to talk about the interesting things, and I hope that somebody...
I'm looking at the red on the screen.
What's the red? Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that to the end of this way. So it fits on topic, right? So today's topic is... falling bricks, the market being down. Is the market down, Danai?
I hear so. I find it funny coming out of last week's conversation. I'm sure everybody there. See the Jamaican market fall too.
Yes, and the week before, because if you remember the week before that, somebody was asking, I think the last 2 weeks before that, somebody was asking about
if the US market fall, it means if we will fall too.
Yeah, and they must be linked.
You see that?
Yeah, they must be linked. So
I was right.
So for the people who say
that is going on, I think I pointed.
Must. I got one tweet from I've forgotten his username, but he was saying that, it was right after I tweeted that tweet about the Jamaican market and the US market. The Jamaican market has started to fall. Ha ha ha. I think
man finally a man tell you that you must think about my crypto here. I'm gonna link up my bridging.
Black Kangle. Well, I don't know if anything like that is a cause of it, but I mean, let me state my position from early. I don't even know if the market is down. I have to go and check. No, is the market empirically down, as you can see here on screen, those of you watching on YouTube?
Well, you know, but this investing thing, no, Randy.
Yeah.
You don't know if the market is down.
Or
Jesus,
not, right?
how
The
can you
indices
not know if the market is down?
The indices are clear. No, technically the market is down today. You see it red. It is lower than it started.
It closed lower than it was yesterday.
Exactly. So it is down, and it is down from its high of a few weeks ago. It has been at record highs a lot recently. John Jackson tends to call a record high whenever it happens for any of the markets, and I've seen a couple of those articles from him stating that it's at a record high, and so I'm not surprised to see some amount of down there about that. The thing that we've said again and again.
Happy. The doomsayers can get our.
Well, the thing I will say again and again is that we tend not to know when the market is down because we don't invest in the market, right?
The market.
Exactly. We invest in specific stocks. So go ahead, Anna.
The way I see it out of that market talk is it's funny how many times we've seen in the past it be used this way. But that market talk to me has long been an industry thing there. Like outside of, if you're talking about it outside of a space where it actually matters, it's always an excuse. It's always, hey, the stock you're in is doing bad because the market is down, right? In down markets all over the way, there's something that going up. You just have to be in that one that went up, right? That's the idea. The full market movement is based on everything in the market together end up doing. Some going up, some going down. Just that boy, we just have a bit more down than up this time, right? That's the idea. But the doomsayers, they know how that is. Oh boy, the crash is coming and correction, it go up, so it must come down. That kind of back and forth that they have with themselves. And and very often it's, all right, cool. Hey, this stock is down. Let's analyze why this stock is down specifically. Maybe there's a reason. Because really, it's nothing to do with I don't know there's anybody sitting down and saying, all right, with a position like this, there's nobody that's attacking the market. Really, right? There's no idea that let me bring down the market average, let me sell down the market. No, I have these stocks, and if I'm selling them and it's pushing the price down, that might have an effect across the market if it's enough for the stocks and then weighted in the right way and all sorts of something. Right? So check the stock you're in, what's going on there, and then you evaluate on that basis. And it could be that, boy, maybe Randy have 100 stocks on the market. He's not going to 100. So Randy have 50 stocks on the market and a bag of money in all of them. I mean, Randy selling 50 stocks, we get ready for the IPO. All 50 of those stocks drop. Right? Then go see it in the market. Right? But Randy was selling because Randy owned this stock and he sold some for his IPO. It just happened that, boy, this affect the market, and the specific stock you're in was affected by Randy's sell-off. It doesn't mean that, boy, the market is going to shit or whatever. That's not how that works. Yeah. It's funny because we're getting this on the back of a very strong earnings season. We're seeing a lot of companies come up with very strong reports, some spikes in some of them are still up from where it's in there. So you balance that. It's not like, but the companies have shown us that, we're kind of strong. We're still doing well. In fact, we're better than we were last year. So the idea that, boy, suddenly the market is down because this overarching thing is really affecting the companies on the market. I don't know anybody that's talking from that perspective and breaking down everything. Think about it. Have you heard anybody everybody talking the recession talk and the whole market talk? I've not heard it go to, all right, cool. So this stock is facing that because the recession that you're predicting or whatever is going to impact that specific company that way. But somehow, there's no individuality. It's just, all right, cool. Let me talk broadly, and you run with that. Loose stock.
Yeah, and loose stock seems to
carry far.
Yeah, run. You know what?
You say, easy come, easy go. Yeah, if come out their mouth easy, it must go somewhere very easy, right? So
yeah, and it's a cheap excuse. A lot of people have it. So a lot of people have asked me over the past few days, if the market is down, and the very first time it happened, I was like, what? I'm surprised. Like the third or fourth time it happened, I messaged Dan one away and I said, by the way, I think the market is down. Bec- because just exactly like what I'm saying, if I have 3 stocks and them down, and I have no idea, and somebody saying, boy, the market is down, then I'm gonna jump on that as a reason. But if you're thinking logically in the way that we talk about practical investing, you cannot, like, the market isn't down. The one thing I'd take exception to what you said, Dana, is that, there's no one person that can do that. I think there are people out there that
Oh
have,
no, no.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I think there are people out there that have a large enough footprint across the market that if they
Across the market.
choose,
Agree.
if they have enough agreements with other people to buy, and it's at lower prices, and they choose to sell enough things, it
It's
can
also a
very,
matter of if the right stock falls. When that person, suppose that person does have the right stock, that's a weight. That person have NCB in the portfolio, and boy, if I sell down to here, then boy, this happens that NCB price will close at X. That's going to be seen in the market index. Suppose him own NCB, Sagicor, Massey. Then I go see that in the market index when that person sells. Right? It's funny, the market can be down on a very small amount of trades. Because again, think of the level it would take for NCB, Sagicor, Massey to close lower than the previous day that you need to sell at whatever. And then that would affect the whole market because that's where it closes. So that's where you see the market reflection, the average reflection, whatever. If they close lower, then immediately you see it across the market. Boy, the market itself is down because these 3 companies are enough for the waiting that them closing lower can skew the whole thing.
yeah, and that's a good point. You mentioned NCB there. Like that's a very clear case of like, if NCB dips, there are certain things that are dipped. If NCB dips, that's just how it works. NCB at this point, wow,
Yeah,
it's
so I
not
think the market was down
12% of the market. I remember when this was 40%, 30% of the market. Now it's down to 12% of the market. That's good. That means the market is broadening.
Yep.
Yeah, on the one hand. On the other hand, I think it speaks to where NCB's current share price is. Wow.
That definitely.
Yeah. Wow. That in itself is something. But I mean, we don't just want to be the only ones talking through this thing. If you have any points around this, you have any questions, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions around things with this, the market, your own portfolios, anything. Send a speaking request and we'll talk about it. Or if any questions or anything terrible that you've heard, I don't know if I've tweeted any mistake this week that you definitely want to call me on, or if then I tell you the wrong thing this week, let's hear it. Let's talk about it for a second. Send a speaking request and we'll get into it. What's that?
The truth is, auto stocks, that's every day. Auto stocks did sell. There is a good amount of that because you can say if all we eat the ball. But I also think of it from a perspective of we often are looking in certain places, meaning you generally find that there's going to be this stock that nobody is looking at. Like you can pick a stock off top of your head that you know that it's been a while since you've heard any strong conversation around that one. Say X1. There's a time one day, a couple years ago when X1 was a stock to talk about.
Yes.
I haven't heard anybody mention it and that type of thing. So very often we have things falling out of the conversation that's generally had. And so it's at the fringes. So I feel that people, and generally that's where a lot of people will be invested. So if you're watching those certain places, and it's very easy to see, especially when your money is there, it's easy to see and panic and feel a certain way about the general movement of the market if the things you're looking at are performing a certain way.
Of course. Yeah. If my stocks are down, then the market is down.
That's generally, that's the point. That's generally the feeling I get from most people. And again, I see a lot of clients, so I don't know how to combat that point. But the truth is, that's the feel I get. Somebody looks at their portfolio and, all right, the things I have, or maybe this one thing I have skewed the weighting and whatever. As far as I'm concerned, no, boy. And worse when I'm hearing the market down talk, when I'm hearing the recession talk, you're going to definitely see that translate very quickly to boy. But the market,
Yeah, but as I said on Twitter that, down or up, the thing that will allow you to navigate any crisis or good time is not a matter of the market being up or down. Unless you're managing a marking fund, it's index fund. It's about picking stocks in the right way, which is why we have the luxury. I don't know if it's the luxury, the privilege of not knowing when the market is up or down. Simply because
that quote I always hear about everybody is we call it in a bull market, and then wait until the bear market, blah blah blah.
yes,
it's funny,
yes,
but the quote speaks to admission that you have to pick stocks. You have to pick the right ones because you're not investing in the market. So the market could have bearish more. There are stocks that will likely do well within that bear market, and if you're there, then your money will do well along with those stocks, right? That's the idea generally. So that quote itself is shining light on, if to do well in a bear market, you have to pick well.
Exactly. In fact, to do well in any market, you have to pick well.
In any market.
That's
just like bull market. We speak about the effect of the thing as if it is the thing. We wait until a certain amount of stocks are moving at a certain level to call the bull market. We wait until a certain amount of stocks are underperforming, quote unquote, to call the bear market. We wait until the report comes out to tell us how the CPI did and whatever, to tell us that we're in a recession or whatever, right? So we wait on the past information. I think so. Why it's happening, it's not real. we're not in a recession until the recession called.
Until
the idea.
Starting
and that's exactly the same when we look at stocks on the market. The bear market is whatever. Again, it's a bear market because this amount of stocks are doing X. So find the ones that are doing well. Just like a bull market, just happens to be more stocks doing well, or set to do well, or had done well, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if you're in the right place, then your money will do the right thing, right? So in a bull market, stocks go down. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Not everything is flying, right?
Yeah. In fact go ahead.
That whole same conversation around X1 came up from a talk around bull market at the time, and X1 was going to be one of those that's going to charge us forward.
That was like 2017, 18?
Yeah, here we are, no hotels later.
Yeah. There are ups and downs. No, let's put some structure to the conversation, right? So, like the real question are we in a bear market? Everybody would Google it, figure out well, I'm not saying everybody. I assume everybody would Google it. If you Google it, you go to Investopedia. What do they describe it as? They say it's I know what the 2 in 20. Security prices fall 20% or more from recent highs amid widespread pessimism and negative investor sentiment, right? Now that's heavily based on the US market, S&P 500 tracking it, blah, blah, blah. But that 20% over more than 2 quarters, not 2 quarters, over more than 2 months, is considered to be, at least in that market, a bear market. No. Is that a bear market for Jamaica? Me personally,
I don't know. I don't think so. Because again, just on the basis of the index weighting, NCB and JHL and Sagittarius can do a thing, and there are a lot of other things doing really well, but because they see a sink, then you can call the bear market after that. Not really.
Yeah. Because 10 juniors can double, and it wouldn't shift the overall.
It wouldn't show exactly.
The combined.
Look at Cement. Cement is 2.5% of the index.
Yes.
And that's properly big money can go in and out type of thing.
That's true. GHL
is the same. GHL is 5.8. GHL can double from this point. And the overall effect on the market, 5.8 up, Jano. It's not going to think that. It takes quite a bit.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit for something like that to happen.
Though I haven't examined, qualified for somebody asked me, I know somebody will ask me. If not, maybe not now. But no, I have not looked on the index spread of the US market and what's to whatever. But I generally they have a more balanced weighting on their index across the board.
some indices, yeah, because they want to have depending on the index you're looking at, they want to have that index should reflect what's truly happening within the space.
Yeah.
As to whether or not that has been happening, that's another matter locally. I would actually love, maybe that'd be something I could do, like a weighted. There's some indices that I think we should put on MMJA, and maybe that will come in time. So mymoneyja.com, look out for them. But I think we can use some more indices, and not indices that are linked to any fund that people can invest in, but just indices to track certain things. Yeah. Also, you kind of, I don't know if I've gotten to the point of being the kind of investor where a lull like this is something that's exciting to me, because, like, if Separate just announced a takeover of a wonderful regional distributor, really, and then Separate's share price kind of spiked, but let's say there's a lull in it. I think there's a spike and then there's a fall, as you know, a lot of people start to take there's initial excitement and there's a fall as people started to take their gains. But it's still pretty high, $70 odd, $70.98 today is where it closed. If you think that what they're doing might bring them to $100, it being at 70 is a great thing, right? SVL, nothing fundamentally has changed about SVL in the last few, let's say, weeks.
Yeah,
except that
you could have get at 27, 26. I don't know, I message you and say, I know, because I missed it.
Yeah, and it's right, but there's so you can get at 29 now, 29.77 as of today.
Jamie B.
God, yeah.
Jamie B been doing nothing. Jamie B fly on the whisper of the what's the whisper? On the
thought.
Hey, the party's supposed to start today. We go there and nothing. But the flew proper flying. Could I make a proper? A man tell me say he was there a couple of days before, just on the expectation of it. Yeah, same talk we have. Man said check. He was waiting to probably wait 3 weeks for the movement. Man said check it the Monday morning after and by the Friday or so. I ain't fly.
because everybody's thinking the same thing, right?
Fly him said never hear no buyback starts. So him say him come out because he was waiting on the news. So he said, all right, cool. I get the money still. I'm out.
Wow.
And then
make a nice, God forbid, short term gain there. Yeah.
And the thing that was to start it don't actually, the thing that was the expectation of the thing caused it. The thing don't actually happen yet. So boy, maybe it's some strong enthusiasm when it's actually ready to start.
Maybe. I think JMB, that whole move, you'll get a whole heap of actual flags. But I think this is gonna happen again when the actual flags for the actual expected buyback happens. We will actually see. We will. I think we will see that sort of response once again. I noticed that in JMB's case, at least to their credit, they haven't fallen back all the way.
Oh yeah, strong. All the way, they're all the way up. They're still to 45s and going really strong on that level.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since they've been at this level.
In the anyway, again, check the buy queue. It actually looks like it can. It couple days well, it's like falling back to 38. No real look in the cards for now. Maybe some magical Trinity investor comes. You said before that the JMB cannot stay at this level, right? It literally cannot stay at this level for that long. Well, not that it cannot, but at some point something has to happen, right? A million units, somebody. So I say too. At some point, the question is how long will it stay at that? I think that's a large thing to answer there. What's JMB dividend in it?
Their policy or just what their
Dividend
dividends have
yield.
been.
No, dividend yield. Yield.
At the current prices, the last two dividends would have been 0.5% and 1.32%. At current prices, now like the 1.32 yield came from a 60-cent dividend. That was last year. That was in Q3 last year. So it's
If even people start chasing a dividend yield at some point, though probably not for now.
I think there's larger money that's seeing the value there. That million units that the
43.
insider.
Or the thing that we did that chairman sold.
At 43, correct, yeah. And you know the funny thing is, and if you
Man
look
says
at,
sell back.
yeah, if you look at the queue, as you just say, you look at the queue. No, there's a million unit
1 million
order
units.
again. Somebody building up. It would seem like somebody is building up.
Chest, the war chest.
Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like somebody's building up a war chest. Like it literally cannot stay at this level forever.
You saw the level of buying down at 38 too. It was strong.
Well, yeah, because the opportunity, I think, has been there for a long time for the more patient or well capitalized, the people with enough money, really. Because if you if you can put $1 million or $10 million into, or buy 1 million units, you can put $50 million in, $100 million in, and you can wait 5 years. In 5 years, the dividend yield alone from that is going to be phenomenal, I'm sure, right? And if you map things in the way that I have mapped it, like this is a gem that cannot stay at this level. Somebody's going to come and pick up this gem, I believe. Yeah.
So I see it too.
Yeah, it literally can't stagnate as it has been stagnating as a company. So
I just want the people to pick it up with somewhere I can buy.
Yeah.
That's how you just go buy the two of them and chill.
Jeez, yeah, that's never have to work again.
Good up on one side and good profits on the next side, and you probably some good things out of that.
Yep. So yeah, Brick Talk, like I said, send a speaking request. I know 2 people have sent a speaking request.
It feel like earnings season.
It does feel like earnings season, right? People just want to hear you and me talk. But we do want you guys to be able to jump in and ask us questions and talk to us, have a conversation with us. First, we have Sir Louis V. Belt Bricks, Philberg Invest.
Jesus.
Yeah. Sir Top 10 himself. How you doing, sir?
Yo, big up. I actually did.
But I hear the waves in the back.
Deliberately? You hear waves?
Yeah, man. The yacht go on, man.
Not yet.
The villa windows open.
I say, $1 more up on it, and I knew that.
Yo, you guys have jokes. I don't have real jokes.
So you said you sent it accidentally.
Yeah, actually, it's the first
I
time.
know say you always have something to sip on the market. So tell me about something to sip on the market.
Yeah.
Enough things up on the market, brother. Enough.
I'm almost overwhelmed.
I have been feeling that way. And it's a different kind of overwhelm now. So I've been feeling the overwhelming feeling of so many opportunities. And then over the last few days, they just became even more so. Like the things
I imagine that you said something to me during all these times. And I just started investing. Like whenever I said these kind of things, his response to me was always, choices are for poor people. You know, say it's in a long while still, so I wonder, it's not like him doing well. Like him can't relate.
Either that or him start to make some hard choices himself.
Hopefully not the latter.
I think there's never we're spoiled for choices. We were spoiled for choices before, and now it's even better, and into just the cherry on top.
Yes.
Them throw an IPO in the mix.
Yeah, man.
But it really is a blessing in disguise for, like, that's why I'm wondering. I don't know if it's that I'm out of touch, because to me all I'm seeing is opportunity, and I feel like there's opportunity with a growing portfolio. So I don't know if it's just privilege on my part. I don't know, market privilege on my part, where because I don't know, things still look great to me, right? Things still look amazing to me, and they're at a dip, and so many other good things are dipping.
Legend himself, I think, said something that I really agree with. You don't have a crystal ball. You don't know how far it's going, or if it's as drastic as people are saying. You don't know how far. You don't really know anything that. But if it looks like a deal, it looks like a deal.
Yeah.
I think
A deal is a deal.
the only thing I think that the skew I'm getting from my side is just how far the fear will take people. Like I don't have the same level of fear that most people have about these things. So you know how that is. A man will see the queue and say, boy, you want to jump out before because it's down and that type of thing. And really, sometimes if you find out money out of it, you can, of course. Then that's a good opportunity for them. And I think the IPO is another good opportunity. Meaning, if your thing really bleed, you can probably get in the IPO, get some money, and then go back.
Yep.
Yeah, boy, the IPO them always come out right before I do a grow session, and it grow Tuesday.
Time,
yeah, right? Like so at grow exactly. So at grow, I allow the people who are doing it to everybody who's doing it gets to vote on which stock they want us to use as a review stock in part 2. And I mean, you almost know what's going to happen when there's an IPO in the market. You know, everybody's going to pick, is going to vote on that. So I know I'm almost anticipating the amount of requests that we're going to get around $1. And just to cap off those points about if the market is down, I did a quick poll on YouTube, actually, the YouTube listeners, asking, is your JMD portfolio currently down? And so far, at least at this point, 67% of the people are saying yes, and 33% of the people are saying no. And we've had, the poll has only been up about 20 minutes, 22 minutes. And there have been 41 votes.
Year to date or just?
Well, I didn't specify. I just said, is it down? Is your JC portfolio down currently? And I think I'll ask the same thing on Twitter. No, actually, is your JC portfolio currently down? And I say at a loss. When I say down, when I said down, I mean, is it at a loss? I should have, you're right, then I should have specified that before. And I'll leave that up for like one day. And if you're on Twitter, you can answer it. If you're on YouTube watching us, you can answer it. Or you can jump on and talk about it. And worse that could happen is that you hear something about a company that you might you might want to specify. So Sir Phil, nothing exciting that you want to talk about right now? Because if not, I'll move on to Sir Stuart, and anybody else who wants to speak and send a speaking request.
I just wanted to make a quick point out quickly the before dollar over the last few days, maybe weeks, in fact, I thought the most interesting thing on the market was the SSL VC takeover offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it very interesting, this Gleaner article that came out that had a headline that was completely incongruous with what was in the article and also with what poor Mr. Jackson said.
Clearly. Don't pour upon him. I think he's fine.
Well, yes, he is fine. And I said John Jackson actually came out and clarified his position on the thing. But
when I saw it, I said, boy, I really thought that article was into some heat. Like, boy, maybe into something.
I'm saying, I thought it was an interview or something. And it's so weird. Reading comprehension, brother.
That's superpower, you know.
That's superpower. But the SSLBC takeover offer is something I'm looking forward to, the closing of it and seeing more details of what microfinance services plans to do.
So
So
you just want to see.
Who, me?
Yeah, man.
See, from the vantage point of someone who has a few shares, yeah.
Sounds like a good vantage point.
Yeah, man.
Depending where you're going for, but you get me.
Yeah, man. For sure.
We're not doing this for academics.
Definitely not.
yeah, I haven't read his rebuttal yet. I have not read his being
It was
John
short and
Jack.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, very sure.
What did the gist of it say? Because I
He
know
Never really said that too.
said that. He said that.
Never really said that too.
Oh, the gist of it?
Yeah, that was it. That
Yeah,
him
just
never
of it.
really said that. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
He
he
said
said
short
that
and
too.
sweet. Wow.
Him never said that.
Oh.
He said that is not a correct statement.
Basically,
No,
read the letter I'm gonna put in the thing there. And
yeah, man.
I talk as a director, and I also spoke as a thing there, as the guy behind
shareholder.
Bridgeton. Yeah.
Of Bridgeton. A shareholder through Bridgeton.
Mm-hmm. And the letter did mention, and there's a letter inside
In the
the
director's circle.
document. Yeah.
On his letterhead.
Outlining
And,
that position.
yeah, and in case anybody don't know what I'm talking about, this is the letter in the director's circular that he's referencing, where he says Bridgestone Management Services does not intend to accept the offer on the terms proposed in the takeover bid, as the price of stock is traded currently far exceeds the offer price and amount owned is relatively small. They have no other arrangement with MFS Acquisition Limited.
Agreed, by the way. I mean, I'm not selling my shares.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not giving my shares up in the offer. I mean, listen,
I remember a few years back when there was a few years back we had some complaints about how I don't make any enemies that I don't need to, right? It's just the state of local business reporting, and what how it is, the state of local business reporting, how it is, and how the impacts that something as simple as that can be. Because take it simple or not, a lot of people read headlines only. Exactly. SSL VC director objects to takeover bid, right? John Jackson, CEO of Bridgestone Management and also a director of SSL VC, is objecting to the bid price. Most people who are just coming into the industry don't know. All they know is John Jackson talk about stocks a lot. They might see him on Brick Talk. They might hear him on earnings season. They might hear him on Khalil or something. They might see him on the news. Just the headline alone, this can have some material impact on at least the view of the company, right? Especially you think about the fact that he is also on the actual board. So for him to be on the board and not say something like this and for it to be assigned to him, I mean, it's worrying. To me, it's worrying that could happen. It's actually
breaking up for me. Phil, right here, Randy Phil?
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit, Randy.
Oh,
and I think
sorry.
somebody's typing as well.
Yeah, it might be.
probably
Yeah,
me.
You might want me when you type in that.
I'm moving the phone.
No, man, I'm still hearing it. I don't know if it's the wind in your background or what. And whenever you are doing
it's probably the wind. The fan is close. You're right.
No problem. All right. So the just for me, it is scary, but I'm happy that at least nowadays, I'm hoping that at least this retraction and pointing out that that's not what he said. I'm hoping that it gets a lot of traction very, very quickly. That's what I'm hoping for. Because otherwise it's just worrisome, right? It might seem simple, but the wrong word in the wrong place or saying the wrong thing in the wrong place at the wrong time has enough of an effect on the market.
Implication.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And especially in a fear-filled market like like what we have here, right? That's one of the reasons, going back to that whole falling bricks thing, that's one of the reasons why I don't really like to jump and talk about things are crashing, because we have such a fear-filled market that the fear of the thing might end up causing the thing. People might be so afraid that stock prices are falling that they rush to sell.
I know a couple stocks like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like from my view, I've seen people often, they just because there's a general fear around it, and they start worrying about something that not necessarily happening, and they're the ones causing it while still worrying. And then if them causing it, boy, it's proof to them that the thing is happening when they're not really seeing that their impact is really what got it there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're selling down a stock when you're afraid of the stock going fall, and then, well, if you have enough units to cause a certain impact on it, then yeah, it's gonna fall.
Right.
And then you walk with everybody else with the same fears because that now. So that's very much the case.
Yeah, cascade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cascade, or they call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Next up, we had Stuart, then Shandon. Stuart, what's up?
Yo, Sir Randy. Hail, Sir Danai. Hail, the brick people, brick masters. It's going well. I'm here trying to control this new puppy. So, yeah. But,
I know about that.
Yeah, it's actually quite, it's an interesting thing. It's like having a child mind 60% of the responsibility. I remember what I wanted to say. Oh, first of all, but I need to put some respect on Phil's name. The reason why you're hearing all of that breeze is because he's on his yacht. Want to understand himself here, all right? Respect Mr. Number Top 10. All right, back to this thing now. A very strange thing happened a few days ago. I made some trades. Well, I thought I made some trades, and then I thought they were canceled because when I looked at my JTrader audit trail, it said this trade has been canceled. Turns out the trades were not canceled. Turns out that my broker, thankfully, picked up on what was going on, did some quick math, realized that the amounts that they were seeing weren't quite adding up in terms of the available balance that I saw was a fraction, a tiny fraction of what was really there. And it was not visible to me for whatever reason. JC asked that I get in touch with them. I got in touch with them, spoke to someone in their IT department. They now have a ticket open looking for it. But just a heads up that something like this can and will happen apparently in 2022. And they don't really have a reason for why it has happened. They're just going to look into it. I don't know even what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to actually get back to me and what the answer is going to be. But yeah, that's as of this afternoon. That is what's going on. So I don't know if you guys have had any interesting matrix moments, or maybe, oh, you know what? I figured it out. Certain people found my IP address. That must be it.
I don't know. I haven't had any
At all.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues on my side.
And I find that interesting. You broke up, picked up on it. That's good for one. Well, yeah,
it's excellent.
I wonder how JSC don't pick up.
Bro, the worst part is, like, when I spoke to two people in their IT department. When I spoke with both of them, I don't want to say they sounded dumbstruck because it's clear that happened before, but they were just like, "Yo, bro, we don't even know."
Yeah, sorry, Danai, you're typing loud, brother. I don't know if you can mute while you're doing it. Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I get the next step and what's going on, and I know what the next thing is, then I'll give you guys more of a heads up. But that's all that I know up to this point in time.
So just so people understand what happened there, you're saying that you did some trades, but they went through for more money than you had, or what?
No, I did some trades and then canceled them. It showed up that it was canceled on my JSE on my JTrader. But turns out that the trades actually did go through.
So you got the shares?
The money's there.
So you have the money and the shares?
I do not, unfortunately. I was hoping that if it did have that kind of
Once
an error, it would have given me both. Yo, that is like, you know what that was like? That's like reading on Instagram about the people in the States that were driving on the highway and the Brinks truck opened up behind them and they were too busy taking selfies and videos to pick up any of the money. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's not really here. You need to follow those stories of those people. They track every single one of them down.
So, no,
So
I was taking selfies. I didn't get anything.
yeah, that's what
Yo,
I'm
the
saying.
mothers out the cargo, wicked for me that they even make the
So
dream live on the longer, you know.
I'm looking out for you. So wait there, what happened? You got the shares or the money? Which one?
I got the money. So the shares were sold. I got the money, but here's where it gets sticky. The money doesn't show up in my J Trader. Only my broker can see it. In fact, my broker told me I needed to do a funding because of this. He saw the amount of money outstanding, and he said, "Wait, hold on a second. Oh, go on yourself. You've been funding in over how many, like 2 years, and all of it's added up to this massive amount now. When did this happen?" Turns out, no, the trade had gone through, and the money is now somehow outside of my account. Like,
That's
bro,
weird.
some
So
serious
it's not-
matrix.
That sound like he's not J Trader then. That sound like the system, the actual trading system do something.
But
For the group.
Danai, your guess is I will defer to your wisdom and judgment on this matter.
I'm still.
Because the first me I see this, I hear about this. Although, tell a lie, my broker did say that he has seen something that has happened over the last couple of years before to other clients as well.
Okay, well,
But it's not. It is not by far a frequent occurrence.
Big up your broker then. Big up your broker.
Indeed, big him up. And big up the people that recommended him.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like that is right. Every big up.
Yeah.
Yo, that you
every
there?
time.
That you there? When I pay my fees, I know where my money is going. I wish he could run for MP because at least I know where my taxes would be going.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people are surprised. And I tell them that, yo, don't allow your brokers to take you for an idiot. Right? There's really good service out there for some of them. Yeah, there's some places that are really good service. Like the standard is there.
I've been finding more and more of them, you know, truly.
Because the standard have to be kept up. People, you can get your account open within a day. I have seen people go to the broker, set up their account, and be able to open and trade on the same trading day before the market closed.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
that was me too.
Big up.
And that was a couple of years ago. So
yeah. I've been holding off on recommending them publicly because I can't take the pressure. But big up them. Thank you for that. The next person, she's been waiting for a little while now. Shan_Shandon1.
Hi, good evening. I was actually going to mention to Stuart that I had the same issue, and it took about like 3 days or so before they actually resolved the issue. So I put in an order for selling some shares, and then the market was about to close or something like that. So I canceled the order, and it came up as cancel pending. So what happened was I ended up with no shares and no money. So I was confused. So I kept calling them, and they kept saying they're not sure what happened. But I just didn't have access to the shares or the money. And then eventually they told me that what happened is that the cancellation did not go through and that it was actually sold. And then like 2 days or 3 days later, I saw the money appear on my account finally. So that has happened to me before.
But they said that the cancellation did not go through. So the trade happened?
Yes, so they said that the trade happened before the cancellation.
But them still show the thing there.
But they still give you back the money?
Show you money until 3 days.
Yeah, so they kept the money, and for whatever reason, and it was 3 days later before it actually came up in my account. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Meaning the shares or the money?
Is there a legal argument to be had?
There is a point that JC has made. Sorry to cut you, but sorry to cut you, Stuart, but there's a point that JC has made very clearly that like they can't do any fixing. If I say I'm selling 100 GMB shares at 45.35, and then I buy 100 GMB shares at 45.35, if then I get them, there's no, we made a mistake, take it back. That's it. Even if you made a mistake, so it crossed the market. Once it crossed the market, it has crossed the market. So that's why I was saying it's weird in your case, Shandon, that you said that they said that it happened, but then they gave you back the money, because that means it never happened.
No. It was a sale. It was a sale.
It was a sale, so they said that the sale
Oh.
went through before my cancellation, right?
Oh, in that case,
So
yeah,
it just took long
yeah.
to reflect. But yeah, the time to reflect in kind of weeks is
Yeah.
because suppose
Yeah,
I wanted
because
this at
it's
whatever
so
price and it gone now.
right. Yeah, so I was very annoyed because first of all, it said that the cancellation was pending, and then they didn't say that I made a sale or anything like that. So I was very annoyed and confused. But the guy from IT said that's all he can do. But I actually came on to answer your question about you asked if anybody's portfolio was in a loss right now. Mine is in a loss right now. It's probably 1 point something% loss.
You
and I had
bought
a
stocks
question
recently?
within the last month or so, yeah.
Okay, within the last month. Okay, and you're down
How you feeling?
1%.
How you
Yeah.
feeling?
I'm not feeling any way actually, because I am very confident in the stocks that I have, and I know that, it will go back up eventually. But I do have a question for you guys in terms of when your portfolio is at a loss. Like, when do you know when to hold? You have your goal in mind, you have your timeline in mind. But when would you say, or, what advice would you give me as to when you think, I should find a different vehicle for my goals versus, okay, holding on for my timeline? If that's clear.
All right. So in the stock, you've already
Right.
you set a goal, right?
Yes.
And you've already bought the stock because you think that stock will get you towards
Will
your
get me
goal.
to my
X
goal,
amount
right?
by X time.
Yeah.
Has that changed?
No, it hasn't changed. Still within the timeline. But
Okay,
I mean in general, because I'm pretty
general,
new,
no,
so I'm just trying to
that was
learn.
me answering. General. So the idea is
Oh, okay.
you move away when you are no longer in the level of confidence you had before. That
Right.
not level of confidence, when you don't think anymore that this stock will do what you need to do by the time you expect it to do that thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're in a stock and it's 1% down, to me that's fine. Then you look at it and say, boy, if I need X amount, whatever, and this thing will still do that in my eyes, then you're good. Yeah. If you reach halfway the way down and you change your mind about the stock because the thing you were expecting to happen, by now something else would have happened to trigger it, and it don't happen yet, you say, all right, cool, maybe I can find another vehicle. But as long as you think the thing will continue giving what you expect it to give at the start of this when you bought it, then it should be fine. Just stress test that. Keep testing that.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. If you want to learn more around the depths of that and how when it is time to jump out, you want to come to Grow or go to Danai, him can tell you, he'll update you. Otherwise, if you want to get a lot sharper at it, you want to come to Grow and learn, because that's a common Grow. That's one of the things that we look at Grow, because it's a natural question that you need to know. You need to know if this stock is something you should stay in or jump out of, and understanding that is so key that those who understand it tend to make significantly large amounts of money, larger gains, larger percentages of profit in situations where people are thinking that there's no profit to be made there, right? That can be the difference between selling CPJ last year at $5
$4
or $4 and selling CPJ at $20 this year, right? It might be the difference between I don't know, SVL now or there's so many of these low options. Even when I was thinking about on a PE basis, then I looking at the market again on a PE basis. The PEs for the overall market are a lot lower than I expected. Combined market, average PE on the combined market, less than 30, 27. Main market PE, average PE is 14.2 times, right? The junior market, of course, is high, but we expect the junior market to be higher because it's a junior market. You have great expectations for these companies that can put out huge earnings, huge
There's
earnings.
more. There's more to. There's a lot more growth for them because
Exactly.
well, and it's not that big, so things can impact me much more.
And the expectation for growth is a lot higher, and there are a lot less. Sometimes a lot less units. Sometimes it's a lot more closely held. There's excitement
Start
around
pay
it.
premium.
Yeah. But even so, I'm looking at it, and then when I was just again, this is just at a glance, but so I'm looking at my money JA, and I'm you can order it by the PE ratio on the market currently, right? And you look at some of the high ones. I mean, Knutsford, everything fresh. Eddie Focal is a recent IPO, so we understand that everything fresh. Been around a while. I think everybody, that old joke is it's still fresh, right? Knutsford coming out of a rough hit with COVID, so they're just getting back on their feet. Fesco, though, which I think would be high, is at 58 times, not that high. Considering that gas is going up every single week by huge multiples. So I'm looking on that not as a complaint, but as their profits, whatever their revenue is like
They have a lot more.
Oh God, man, they could be selling
They
less.
I mean, they just started a new business.
I wasn't even touching that. I just going on the current fuel sales. They could have lower fuel sales, and just because of the increase in price for fuel, assuming that them thief a little bit of margin, even if they're keeping the margin steady, they'd be able to have greater profits. As it is, I believe publicly, the CEO recently pointed out that they actually have higher fuel sales on a higher price. Yeah, I mean, I see lines of traffic on Beechwood, and Beechwood open 24/7 now, so I see lines of traffic to go there, and they're very efficient.
Somebody said to me, the margins haven't changed, and in my head, I'm like, that's good. The revenue is increasing. The margins haven't changed. That's good.
That's extremely good.
Especially in a business, especially in a gas business.
Yes. Yeah, man. And for the people listening, oh God, they're so unhappy about the gas prices. This is one thing that can allow you to be happy about the gas prices. I've said it in the past, and I continue to say it. Like, if you buy gas, I can't tell you to buy Fesco, but if you spend on it, it makes sense to own it. If you understood that and you talk about that for the iPhone, it is a lot easier to own some Fesco shares than it is to own Apple shares. And you can see it in a real way. Somebody had pointed out that tweet I had made where, oh God, the profit they must have made on this, because I had made that tweet about whatever I spend on gas each month, I would buy that amount in Fesco shares. And if you map it out, I even tell people, just look on it and put it in mymoneyja.com. Map it out and you will see how this strategy has worked out since I tweeted it, February 16th. How that strategy would work out from February 16th till now, where we are near the end of May 20th. Look at what it could be, because gas, February 16th, was a lot cheaper than it is now in May. And it is expensive then. Yeah, so yeah. And Fesco has been on a little bit of a downturn too. So if you think $7 was too expensive, well, anyway, I won't turn it into a Fesco thing, because once again, it will bother me if I'm not a big shareholder in it and it fly like how it has flown, right? But 624 no, and I suspect it is going to be. I suspect the end of the year will be a lot bigger fight. You pointed out something. You said I'm in a new line of business now.
Yeah, the thing they're cooking gas.
LNG.
No, LPG. That's LNG. Is the trucks, and that LPG ready too. LPG install has happened, so you can get your LPG done by that ferry location. Now you can get the LNG done by the thing there, and you can get fest gas, the LPG cooking gas. I saw like a lot of threads along that. I see Barita doing thing there, going heavily into real estate.
Whoo, boy.
If it's anything residential, then that sounds like I see recently. I think Phil sent me something on Instagram. Jamaica Real Estate had a post with a thing there, a complex or so, installing the fest gas complex cylinder. So basically, everybody within that thing there, real estate project, would be able to get fest gas. And yeah. So
Meaning cooking gas from that?
cooking gas, yeah.
Are you sure
Like
that's what it's going to
centralized
be
cooking
running?
gas. It looked like that.
You sure it's not like fuel for something else? Maybe fuel for the AC or
Or that.
yeah, remember
What kind of fuel they use? And that would be interesting.
yeah, that's the thing, right? So remember that let me be clear on something here, people. This is speculation on my part. I do not know. I'm
Oh no,
pulling this out of the
you can
air.
tell I was speculating on that thing because it was it looked like residential real estate and it was a big tank. Drop and ready for install or something was there.
So I saw the picture you're talking about. I wish I had it I could share. But it was, to me, it looked like either a commercial space. So I thought that maybe it's like, like maybe the front of an office. There wasn't a lot of detail. So I'm thinking that maybe they have like delivery trucks and those trucks are going to run off LNG.
LNG. Somebody just said, as Matthew Baker in the chat said, oh, that was it was. I said he didn't realize it was a complex. He thought it was a thing there. He thought it was for a gas for a fleet of cars or something. So you may be right.
Yeah. Or it could
I just
be.
saw Jamaica real estate. The Jamaica real estate page he posted.
Boy, there's what I'll say is that there's a lot of development happening locally. I don't just mean real estate. I mean there's a lot of developmental options happening just in terms of the broad base of things available to us, and some of it I think we'll be seeing on the market very soon. I think we'll see some of it on
I think you said it sometime back about us Jamaica operating on a 10-year lag to the US in terms of things that are normal across a lot of spaces. So just the first person to implement those things, just suddenly it's a big shift. Yeah.
And if it's listed, that shift is something that you get to earn off in total, right? There's a point.
Across the board. A lot of listed companies are doing out of those things.
Yep. There's something I want, and if it's something that we want to, well, let me not. We have a chance to get into it. Let me touch the people who have been waiting again. Shandon, I don't know if that was the end of your point, or if you had another point.
I think Shandon gone. That's Stuart and Phil.
Just Stuart and Phil.
Leave them so shy. I read the IPO, I read the Prospectus, man.
Yeah. Or maybe they want to talk about it, but they want it to be psychic. Somebody on Twitter had asked them to talk, and they said that they couldn't talk at the moment. But it's hard for me to. If you can send back either the request or the tweet, send back a speaking request, and we'll get you on.
No, he didn't send a request. He actually sent a thing there, a question. He tweeted a question. Actually, I read it.
Okay, what was the question?
If I want to buy an IPO but don't have cash available, what is a good way to evaluate whether it's a good idea to sell stock to buy an IPO? With some stocks falling, is it wise to sell those stocks to buy an IPO? What do I need to consider? So multiple questions there. Yeah,
I'd start off with, as people who've done grow know, you start off with your goal. Your goal dictates all of what is best for you or what's worse for you. No, just because something is down doesn't mean that you can't sell it or you shouldn't sell it. I don't subscribe to that.
It doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, and it also doesn't mean you should sell it, right? Something being down might mean that you buy a lot more of it, or something being up might mean that you sell it, or also you buy a lot more of it, right? There's no simple answer for it. It's very situation dependent. But what I would say is that if you are looking at going into something else, compare the level of gain that you can make from that thing.
Can the money I'm putting here make more money than the thing I have over here within the same time or shorter time, whatever? Then it very immediately shows the win for you. Basically, if I can get a 40% here, I think it's going to a 40%. But I know the IPO, my expectation is that if I get the right allocate, if I get whatever out of it, I can 50% on the same level of money, then the IPO presents a better option within that same timeline for you. A lot more to consider, because sometimes you don't even want to sell the units because you don't sure you can get them back at the right price and that type of thing. But generally, the consideration there is, if I stay in this thing, will it make me more money than going into the other thing within the same time?
Yep.
So you're finding the most optimal return for yourself. You're making sure you get the most money out of whatever money you invest at any given point.
Yeah, man. And making that decision on a strong, sensible basis. And that is a thing that will help you to be okay with it if you are seeing a move that you wouldn't expect. Like common thing. Like me, I sold a lot of Jetcon in the last week, right before they put out those wonderful results.
Carefully, client results wonderful with things like S's being left off, Randy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm an amateur, so I can sort whatever I want, right? From my unqualified position, these results looked amazingly wonderful. 244.8 million in profit, and no, sorry, 10.2 million. They look at that, making a mistake. 10.2 million in profit compared to the same period last year when I believe it was at a loss. And just on a year-to-date basis, you're looking at 10.2 million for the first quarter. For the whole of last year, they made 26.3 million in profit.
Interesting thing, I think the overstatement of the results last year, based on the cost of goods that never get put into the right account, and making an account, found it pushed it back. It pushed that result into a loss. And in my head, I'm like, if the market reacts to this and they have a good quarter, it's basically giving a bad quarter to react to. So as long as the market reacts downward and whatever, then if you think the quarter reporting against that will be good, then you have a better chance. So it's almost like a reset. Like, okay, that was bad last year, we're fine. The audit did what the audit was supposed to do.
It found any mistakes and fixed them.
That's why you call in auditors. Like,
correct.
Don't like, that's exactly why there's an audited statement and an audited statement, right? So that's what the audit is for. Don't cook them for having the right thing happen. Like, yes, we understand the mistake. Yes, it was a terrible mistake. I'm not trying to understand it at all. Definitely, I really want less of that. Probably if you listen to me for any period of time, you know that our stance on that all the time. We've been saying these type of things, right? So yeah, but don't look at it from doom and gloom. What is the opportunity? You're not here to make losses. You're not here to identify all this. Like that's not why you invest. You are not investing to be right about what is wrong, right? Yeah. You are investing to make money. Like, whatever you want to call it, and over whatever time, be long term or short term, you are investing to make money. Look for actual opportunity. If something can be an opportunity, then just look for it. Simple as that.
Yep.
Yeah. Very often, I find that mindset is a big difference. Just not looking for an opportunity in things. You start looking for all the bad, and it becomes a report. Like, thing that. Just saw something on my screen. See, David is a reporter guy. David looks for things because he's reporting on them. And he actually helps companies out the work. That's his job. That's what he's doing that for a reason. And yes, in fact, doing that makes him a better investor because he can look at certain things and whatever, right? But at the end of the day, he's not looking for bad things for the purpose of investing in bad things or that type of thing. It's cool, what I would avoid, blah 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 blah. End of the day, opportunity is where you're going for. Yeah.
Having said that doesn't excuse companies from having like sloppy financials.
At all.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Yeah.
Time.
But it is important to note that for me at least, the practical thing is that at the end of the day, I should be able to look and evaluate the company based on what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing here for Jetcon is a company that is making more money selling cars up to the end of March 2022 versus the end of March 2021, right? More profit also. The profit is a good chunk, almost half of what it was in the previous entire year. Almost 30% of what it was in the entire 2021. They made that in the first quarter of 2022. And those of you who read the MD&A know that they've spoken about even more. to come, right? They said that up to that point in April when they were speaking, they suggest that 2022 could be ahead of 2021 in terms of sales happening, right? Up to April, they said that they're 30% ahead, and bear in mind that they're officially reporting just March. So that's them giving us a little peek into what April looks like. That's the next quarter to come, the second quarter, at least 1 month out of it, they're still ahead. And I suspect that won't change as the country, or the company we call Jamaica, as the country remains open. I think that they will continue to rise. Of course, I sold my shares right before these came out. So I have the wonderful position of, I sold it at great profit, but I'm looking back at it now and I'm mentally beating myself up a little bit. Oh God, yeah. Stay in it if you don't have to jump out, right? But I sold it along the lines of my goal. I'm reassessing, and who knows, this might be the great vehicle for me to go right back in and go back into heavier.
Thing there. I think that's often said. I read it on the YouTube. Don't be afraid to say you're losers. I'll tell you, I hate that statement. Like, I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. All right, don't hold on just because it's down, right? But then I see people, what they do is they have 2 stocks, and so they're waiting on something with one. The other one gave some return, all right? And until one of them reached a point where they thought, all right, this is where it's maxed out, and they think that. What I've often found is that while they're waiting, if they need no money, then guess what gets sold? The one that they're still expecting something to come from. So, all right, cool, it's down 2%, I'm waiting. The thing don't happen yet, but Jesus, that one is up a lot. I'm making a lot of money there. So I'm going to keep it because it's good. I'm going to sell the other one because it's bad. Right? No. It's a loser because it's not a loser because it's down. It's a loser because within the context of your goal or your expectation for it, it's not doing the thing you expect it to do or the thing you wanted from it. That's when you leave. It's not because it's not doing as well as something else in the portfolio, or it's not doing great now. If you buy it yesterday and you want X amount in 3% in 3 months' time, but it's down today, 2% down today, that's a basis to sell. So yeah, I think people often, I don't know if they're taking the statement the wrong way, but I can see where they if they have that mindset already, they'll take it from that angle and say, oh yeah, man, that's fun.
Yeah, I feel like I constantly have to remind people that, listen, in this investing thing, it don't work where you buy the stock today and then tomorrow it go up and it just keep going up until you decide, so you feel, say, all right, you can sell now, and you sell it because something else come along and you're going to buy that, and it must just go up. It don't work that way. The chances are, especially,
I think they rocky.
It has to be rocky. It has to fluctuate, and the biggest gainers tend to fluctuate for a little while. Yeah, in fact, the biggest gainers tend to do 2 things: fluctuate or stagnate until suddenly they fly. And then it seems like they fly overnight, but the signs of them flying were way ahead. Yeah, it's just that's where the real guts come in. Do you have the guts to hold it while it's fluctuating or stagnating, or it's not popular?
What you say about GK?
To benefit from it when it fly. I don't know. GK is wonderfully undervalued, but they need to do something for them 100. They need to do something wonderful for them 100. 100 split for the 100. Please, Chairman Webby. Yes, split. Give us 100 split for the 100th year. And spin off the finance. You guys have a hell of a insurance group now within the finance arm. Just seal it all together. Bring in Canopy. Yeah, man. Bring in Canopy. Spin off some things, man. Or go spin it off and go US market with it, man. Please take the money that people want to give you.
Jesus.
You were saying something just now, Danai?
No, I was saying something. I wasn't saying anything for you. See. Oh, actually, check anything there if we answered all of their questions.
Okay. Well, I think I just saw a message from him saying it popped up and then it popped away. But you're saying thank you is going
If
back
you're
to. No, go ahead. Go
if your
ahead.
broker, if your broker offers margin facilities, and you are willing to say, if you're willing to take that risk, because I don't want it to be said that boy, then I say, what's up? Yes, if you're willing to take the risk of margin, meaning borrowing money to invest, then you don't necessarily have to have cash available at all times. You have something that you can take on. The opportunity you want to take on, you can say, boy, maybe I cash broke, I have all the money in the stocks I want, and then this new thing coming and it's really, really good, and I don't want to miss it. You can just use a margin facility at your broker, borrow some money, invest in that thing. I think that a good example is typically IPOs, because if you find a good IPO, you can get a lot of money out of it. So borrow some money, sling it on it, and then make some money with other people's money.
The only way to wealth, OPM, other people's money. Yeah. See, easy example. Fesco listed about a little, at this point, we're about 1 month and 1 year and 1 month after when Fesco IPO'd. If you bought Fesco at IPO with borrowed money, let's say you're managed to get in, I don't know, $1 million in on borrowed money. One important thing is to ensure that the gain that you're expecting and that you're looking for exceeds the cost of the debt, cost of capital, right? So if it's a 10% loan, you definitely want to make at least 10% on the stock before you get, no time. If you're being realistic, you also have to consider the fees to get in, the fees to get out, plus the interest rate on the loan. But if you had done that on Fesco at IPO, I mean, the gain that would be yours right now, even if it's $1 million worth of borrowed money at 624, if you sold it for 624 today, and you had gotten $1 million in that IPO, that means your million would now be, my God,
Jesus,
7,800,000 Jamaican in 1 year. So you borrow 1 million, even if you borrow it at 20% per annum, you borrow it all at 50%. I'm not telling anybody to borrow at 50 or 20 or anything like that, right?
If I would tell them not to.
Those kind of rates are terrible. But the point is, your $1 million would now be $7.8 million today. That's I
hope.
Yeah.
Spurtree, away there, no brother.
Yeah. What's Spurtree at today?
Year. $3.80 something.
Spurtree ended today at exactly $3.88.
If I got Spurtree at $1 at IPO, I'll be beating my old salary now with the gains from that with one mil in.
Yeah, so can you imagine you borrow? You can imagine you take a interest-free loan from work.
Great.
All right, and you borrow $500,000 from work, and you put it in Spurtree. You put in Spurtree in the middle of January. You currently have even if you get it all, you didn't get it all in. Let's say you bought it up, so you get your average price at 130 odd, 132. Let's say you got some on day 2, 132 at 500K at 132, and you sold it today at 388. Whew. Your 500K is what? Your 500K is now 1.46, 1.5 mil, pretty much, right? You pay back work, and you still have $1 million left over, a little over $1 million, or maybe you don't pay back work.
You pay back work and then pay how much time in the one money then you borrow. Jesus.
Yeah, or maybe you don't pay back work. Maybe coming out to your paycheck every month. So so you're going to hold it and maybe you sell, or maybe you're going something else with it, right? New IPO coming out. I'm very surprised actually. I'm so surprised that nobody asking about the new IPO. I mean, I can tell you're not rushing to talk about it unless somebody wants to come on and have a conversation about it. So chances are that's all.
I know that I'll have many conversations about it, so I mean no rush at all.
You must, and I know
plus
that
it's the weekend. Yeah, I'm going to find my phone fill this weekend. Everybody waiting for an answer.
Yeah. I know it's gonna happen at Grow. I know a lot of questions will come at Grow, and I did a bit of an overview of it, but and I also saw a very interesting link. I think maybe I'll talk to the people in the Grow subscribers group about it, but an interesting link between what's happening there. I mean, I'm happy to see it. I'm not a young person, not a young CEO, getting a good push. And this, I don't know what you'd call it, but the first rock link, for the first rock equity link, right? Because it's separate, right? As has been pointed out by the CEO of the managing company of First Rock Capital Holdings, Ryan Reed. Just the fact that they're spinning off such a wonderful thing, because it really is them, essentially, right? It really is them. So it is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I love to see when more companies come to the market. I don't want to say too much, but I love to see more companies come to the market. I think I'm excited about it. Something I noticed pointed out in it, and that they didn't have the 3-day requirement from the FSC suggestions. I didn't see the 3-day opening requirement from the FSC suggestions in there at all.
Oh, I was seeing that was, all right, them can say this, but suppose the FSC thing is being enforced
Quietly, softly.
So would they, or just even think that, right, we tell you, the broker and the company, we have to tell the public, say this or whatever, and meaning, cool, these are your rights and whatever, but these are our rules for listing and we're abiding by them. So then that might be the case where you're not really expect to see. You might not see anything going up. You might not see it closing same time, even if they would have wanted to, maybe because FSC set in the rules, in the suggestions, and they enforce it, we might see that thing there. So even if that's it, when you say, but your mother said too.
Yeah, and then mommy rule kind of just happened to get followed, right? But I mean, they've reserved the right to close at any point, any point in time.
Well,
for any reason.
I don't mind a early closing. In fact, I look forward to them. So
yeah,
full speed. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think depending on how the public views this one, how the public rush into it, and it's a holiday weekend, so I think it'll be a lot of time for it to spread and people talk about it. I just remind people, I say it at Grow all the time, I say it here publicly, treat the opening date like the closing date. All right, remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, treat the opening date like the closing date. Don't be fooled and wait for the opening date.
And remember that we reserve the right. So you can't vex if you go day 2 and they decide to close on day 1. Like you try, they reserve the right. So you can't get up and say, boy, your money come late, so the IPO should have closed later. You do what you have to do to make sure you get your offer, your thing in within the least risky time. If you going above that, then it could well happen that you don't get nothing. So do what you need to do. Get in early if you're getting in.
Yeah, that's a real concern for the people, especially the newer people coming in. And I'm sure people have other questions. So like I said, send the questions if you want. Send the speaking points. We will go through them. Let me check on the poll so far on YouTube. The last thing I've seen is that at this point, 1 hour in, 87 people have voted, and 59% of them have said that yes, their JC portfolio is down currently. And that's on YouTube. On Twitter, I will see on Twitter. Is it down currently? 1 second. Let me just see what people are. The poll on Twitter.
Oh.
Is your JC portfolio currently down or at a loss? On Twitter, 38% of the people are saying yes, 52% of the people are saying no, and 11% of the people are saying they don't know. Right? For the 11% of people that say they don't know, go to mymoneyja.com and set up a portfolio for yourself and find out if your money is up or down. You should know what's going on with your money. Right? Very important for you to know what's going on with your money. Good, bad, or ugly, you need to know. So set up a portfolio, and track your thing. If you know, say definitely about X amount of dollar financial, if you have some in a reserve class already, if you're one of the people in the reserve pool, you can add it to your portfolio from now. So you know, say I have X amount of dollar shares. If you want to know how much it go up on day one, you can if you want to know how much it go up on day one, you can add it. You can create an alert, right? You can create an alert so you know immediately when the share price flies. So you can go tell me immediately if the traded price is greater than 132 on day one, right?
Dollar boss.
Yeah, so it's something that you should know, pay attention to. Please, the worst position to be in is I don't know, right? And be aware of the dates also. You want to look at and know what's happening with your with all the stocks and what the dates are. The every nickel calendar is still there for everybody. If you want to view that really helps. Free everymickel.com/calendar has all the dates on it, including the expected opening date for Dollar Financial and the expected closing date. You can add it to your own calendar. You can have it in your phone. You can have it on whatever device you use. That's what I do. I add it to my calendar. And so I see it all when I'm looking at my calendar. Just throwing it out there, some tips for the people that might be new and looking for some help. If you didn't hear what I say, this is definitely on YouTube. So just go back a few seconds. I'll say it again, everymickel.com/calendar. Just go back a few seconds. Add it to your own calendar. It's a great tool for you, and it helps keep you on top of the market. You don't want to be in a position of I don't know. All right, we have one person that sent a speaking request. I hope it's about the local market. Creative Mind V1.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up, boss?
How are you doing? Evening.
Evening. Everybody good?
Yeah, man. Everybody good.
Yeah,
How
man,
are you doing?
say? What's going on with you?
Not too bad, not too bad. This is my project, by the way, but I know my mom invested in what was it, NCB.
Mm-hmm.
She did that. She invested in that long time ago for me and my brother, And I know they did good couple years ago. Them actually, I think them went to a couple $billion. I think them say they're the first or one of the first Jamaican company to hit them numbers. I think there was an article I read a couple of years ago still on it.
Yeah, they are the biggest company on the JSE still, multi-billion-dollar company. The chairman of it is a billionaire, a proper billionaire, Michael Lee Chin. Yeah.
Chin, yeah. So it's stuff like that. She bought those things and it's still there. She bought it ages ago from when
What's
we were
ages
young.
ago? Give us a number now.
Huh?
Give us a number. You said
How
she
young
bought
were you
it.
about them?
A number in it now? How much it is?
No.
How long ago did she buy them?
Like that's like the late. I said late 80 something.
You sure?
Like, yeah, man.
Okay.
Because I remember she got it long time ago, from before we leave Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
All right. Long time.
And yeah, we still have it. But she got it when it wasn't really worth much,
How many shares
I
was
imagine.
it? You remember? How many shares it was?
So I don't know how much shares. I just know say it in the million and change right now.
Roughly how many shares? Because you might be surprised where it actually is.
And if even they call it dividends,
I have to ask her about that. I have to ask about the number of shares she buys still.
Check on it, man. You might even find that boy have some dividends you never get, or something that might turn up you a lot of money. I have seen people come in and then grandmother did buy this amount of shares when they're little, and it's worth like the level of millions it is worth now. So yeah, check on that. You don't want to leave that money sitting down not doing nothing.
You might be a lot richer than you realize.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check on that still.
Mhm.
But my thing is more crypto, so that's what I'm really into
You
these
might have
days.
crypto level money, whatever money you want to put into crypto, and my condolences on that. But whatever money you want to put in there, like if you're in crypto, you're almost certainly down right now, but you might be a lot more up than you realized if you check on the NCB, especially if you bought it if you bought in the 80s. I mean, NCB IPO'd in what? In the same year as GK, the IPO that left at GK, so in 86, it's 35 years ago. You might want to you might want to check it. You might have a lot more money than you realize, right? I did a little speech
Much
for a
like BC.
charity. Yeah, man. I did a speech for a charity right before we came on to Brick Talk here. And one of the things I was pointing out to them is to some young people, just the time on it. When Leachin bought NCB in what, '02? In 2002? Well, you remember what it was then? It's either $2 something or $6 something that he bought it for per share. $6 and
I don't know the
change.
price. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it's not a very, you have to dig to know that number. It's not an easy to find number. But I think it's something like, $6 and something per chain. So $6 and some cents per share. Yeah, it just go and check. I urging you. It's not. I'm not urging you madly. I urging you because you might have a lot more money than you realize.
Yeah, well, so yeah, I go down there September, so I figured I go down for 6 months. So I figured, I
You
might
want
as
to check
well.
before you come down, man. Pick up the phone and call. Make a call. You want to check before you do. You might hear a number that make you jump on a plane earlier.
6 billion. He bought all the shares for 6 billion and not seeing a price per share. So I have to work that out.
Yeah. It's
75% of the company for 6 billion.
yeah. You might hear a number that make you jump on a plane quick and fast.
NCB.
What number would make you jump on a plane quicker than you expected to?
Oh boy, me are 150. I may jump on the plane, yes.
150 million?
I jump on the plane.
It depends how much you bought that for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, she bought in the 80s, You should buy even 100,000 units 50,000 units in the 80s. Just think about the dividends and that over the years.
Yeah, over the whole
Yeah.
time. If you
I
never
don't-
claim them that means them sit down and wait for you for how long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think after 12 years it might go away, but even so, 12 years of NCB's dividends. NCB had some heavy dividends, Heavy dividends.
Yeah, well, like I said, I have to go check it out still. I haven't really asked her about it. She just tell me I'm a bro that she bought these things for us, and she been holding on to them for way. So
$3 per share, basically.
Roughly $3 something per share.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah, so
320 per share or something. Like 325, 324, somewhere around this.
And it's at 109 per share today. If your mother bought it for $3 or $4 per share, you might be looking on that's a 3,000 odd percent gain. Like I said, crypto gain, not counting the dividend money on top of it.
Yeah.
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 So I'm sure that's not why you called. I know we're pushing that point on you, but that's not why you
question.
called. You have a question? What's up? Why did you call?
Yeah, so I've been thinking. I do stocks too, right? Stocks was the first thing I really got into, but I do more like new tech stuff. So I know a couple family members been telling me that Jamaica has some good stocks out there that you can put some money in right now and kind of hold on upon them. You have your long term and your short term ones out there. So
Yeah, it's a market. It's a full market.
so I hear you guys talking. So we want to know what's the the stocks them. You have your low cap and your high caps. So
Check mymoneyja.com now.
What?
Mymoneyja.com, you can
Yeah,
see all of them listed. Every
all
single
the
one.
listed companies.
Yeah, including
Yeah.
the one that's about to, the newest one, the one that's about to bond, Dollar Financial Services, one that's about to IPO in a few weeks.
okay.
Yeah, you want to check that out, and it can really help it give you a quick overview of what's available out there. The IPO opens the 27th. So if you wanted to be the one from the start, you have that option. If you wanted to maybe average up the shares that mommy give you for NCB, you have that option also. You have loads of options. It's 90 odd companies on the market, and more coming, more seem like they're coming every day. So yeah, in case you want to know which one is the best one, you have to go sit down and have a session with Danai, and him can look at your portfolio, your needs and whatever, and that can help you. Or if you want to come and learn how to do it yourself, you can come to a class with me and figure it out. But regardless of all that, you want to just go and check and see all of the companies that are in the market currently, because we have some nice options.
Yeah.
Okay. Search man them. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Boss.
All right, boss.
Big up.
Big up, no problem.
Check on the NCB shares. It sounds like you might have
Please.
something good going on if she bought a good amount.
Yeah, she said she buy a month still. So, but again, we decide so we now make it run. So I haven't really given it much thought since then. So
That's it. Get a hold on it. No, exactly. Just check it. If even just to say, all right, you send the dividends a certain place, and what you can do is say, let's say free advice, not real advice. This is not advice, but if you're being passive about it, then we can say, all right, the dividends are already going to nowhere. So get a broker, get an accountant, and say every time you pay dividends, buy some more NCB.
Yeah.
So imagine if you did that way back when you first bought it. If that was the plan, you would definitely see that money you're looking for now.
Yeah. But she
And
didn't
more.
know nothing about it,
So start. So I mean, exactly. So you're here now. Start out.
Yeah, man.
Start.
And the beauty of stocks is that it don't matter if you know nothing or not. Once you buy it, if it go up, it go up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's already there. It buy a long time. The idea is if it can keep buying itself with the dividends, it might as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look into it still.
All right.
Big
up, boss.
All right, boss. Best up. Enjoy your weekend.
You too, man.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Respect.
All right. Then I don't know if people not as excited as me and you when I hear them story there. Oh my God. I don't think people realize.
I think we've looked at it so much and said, what? Imagine. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Like I know my father has some Carib Cement shares that him taking him own sweet time to figure out where they're kind of have it from the share certificate days.
My uncle tells me that he and my father had bought some shares back in the day because they were looking to start investing together, and they and two friends or so had come together and buy up a bag of shares, and they were buying for a good while. Somehow I don't know where they stopped, but none of them can locate those shares.
Them now if I can locate it, go down to JCS team and them do a search.
I trust me, I tell them, but speed of appearance.
Yeah, you can't rush it.
When you use something.
Yeah. If it's one set of people don't give a
story like that.
Yeah, but if it's one set of people don't give a damn about my stock knowledge.
Moms, I can't fully say, but meaning pops not really in the one thing. Moms no, moms will listen now. We've started investing, so at least from one side something will go on this. So.
Yeah, but Carib Cement, I know a while ago you were talking now. I'm from Lickle,
No, in fact, you use Carib Cement a lot as I used a lot.
As the example of what's possible, yeah. Yeah,
I reach out for this.
yeah. I see.
Gosh.
As somebody at YouTube, it's like psychology say, man will start scratching, man. It's not his mother, right? I try not to get too excited, but when people say, "Yo, go check your parents and see," chances are maybe them to try a thing and buy something back then. And some of the prices are really low. Yeah, I see people in grow all the time. Yeah. I remember that I buy some NCB at like $3. And how much? Like 300,000 units. I said, how much 300,000? How much 300,000 NCB shares is
now?
now?
Be so triggered, bro. She said, "A wicked man, this I want bad."
Yeah, it happen all the time. People talk to your parents, talk to your loved ones, ask them about the shares of them they try buy one time long ago, right? You might be very surprised how much it is worth right now. It happens all the time. All the
Tell you
time.
some things, I've seen some things when a man come in with some share cert. I never know he was that rich.
Yeah. Because when they bought it, it wasn't much, right? There are people who them buy it is not that much. I bought 50,000 GK shares. What is long ago? It's 20 years ago. Sorry, I hear somebody just know. Cap God. Vito Carter. Night. But Vito, I don't want you to jump ahead. We do have somebody in front of you.
Malik? No, Malik.
No. That's Cap Lord. But just 1 second, Cap. Let me hear from Giovanni first, and then we can go to you.
Yeah, greetings, great one. Night, everybody. I'm interested in anatomy of a play, advanced growth thing. I see you promoting. I just want to know how it go because I don't know who's an advanced grower. If it's something I have to qualify for.
Advanced grow is after you've done regular grow. Like grow is like a 1 day workshop. Anybody ever do a 1 day workshop? You start in the morning, you go till the evening, and if it's a sensible workshop, you leave knowing a lot more than you started with. No, if you've done grow already, then you can do advanced grow. Over that advanced grow is that I try and focus on one task. So I'd grow as good as it is. I mean, I can't teach everything about investing in 1 day. I've been doing investing for years and years and years and years now, and I still don't know everything. So advanced grow is an opportunity for us to focus in on like one element every month. And it's people who have done grow I tend to encourage to do it. So 1 month we'll do short-term investing, like intro to that. Another month we might just focus on one thing. 1 month we did investing using leverage. So like strategies that you use when you're investing using borrowed money. Another month we'll do, different things for different months. So this month the advanced growth topic is around doing a play. A play, I mean like a play from start to finish, a full play, right? And play in the way in which we usually talk about a play. You might hear people talking about, I do XYZ like a play.
Like a play on a stock.
A play on a stock, exactly. And a play doesn't have to be short term. In fact, I'm not going to just talk about short term. I usually try and include it in a way that everybody can understand and benefit from. So it's the people who are investing for, a play might be a pension play. It might be a 10-year play. It might be send my kids to college play. Or it might be, I need for pay the light bill, or I need for make a money now. Whatever a play is, right? So that's what this advanced grow is going to be on. I have not made up my mind yet as to whether or not I want to open it up to the whole public, simply because I don't want to lose the quality too much. I already have about 100. There are a lot of people that are going to be there, so I might just do it with the subscribers alone. If I do open it up, in fact, I might open it up now and just leave it open to like maybe 20 or so people and then it close. So 20 outside people. No, if you've not done grow, does it mean you can't do the advanced grow? I'm not going to say no, but typically I speak on concepts that I have already taught at grow, and I have seen where it becomes confusing for people, no matter how advanced you are, meaning you might be an accountant, you might have some financial expertise, but just my approach tends to be different. Unorthodox is not the typical things you're hearing, and I'm telling you in foolishness about 30% into this and 20% into that. I'm not ever doing that. And so if you don't know certain grow basics, it might not come across to you. And I have lost a lot of time explaining those basics, and then everybody in the class who kind of didn't know already kind of lose it because I'm explaining to that one person. So I'm not discouraging people who have not done grow from doing it. However, do be aware that if you have not yet done grow, you may very well be confused. It might not be what you're expecting. But I do a different topic every single month, and that's what this one is. So if you have done grow already, Giovanni, if you have, then advanced grow is the one is going to be on this month. Make sense?
So yeah, I have done grow already. Actually, I was considering to do it again. There was something they were speaking about towards the end, and I got really distracted that night because that night was a busy night. So a few of the things I wanted to kind of just catch again, and I didn't know if I needed, if I did like I see I did the split grow, and I wanted like the second half of it again because I'm pretty certain I got the first part quite clear. But if you don't split it, I don't mind doing the entire thing again. I was considering that, but then the advanced grow now, how do interested people go about, I guess, signing up for that or becoming a part of that?
Well, the link is right there, everymickle.com/advanced grow. Since you say you wanted to catch a second part of grow, just you can send me a DM. I don't know, my DMs might not be open, so send me an email. If anything, just shoot me a message and I will sort out something for you there. Especially if you wanted the advanced grow, maybe I just throw in you doing the second part of grow, because regular beginner grow is also this coming week, Tuesday and Wednesday. So maybe I can work out something for you. But just shoot me a message and I'll try and figure something out.
All right, cool. Yeah, man, respect.
No problem.
All right, boss. Let's up.
Yeah, man, big up Danai.
Yeah, man.
I should point out to the people, like I say, you also get a discount to a session with Danai. Danai, I know you have some housekeeping, and if you want to make it public yet about when you...
No, it's Monday. They kind of opens to the public on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So this week has been for the existing clients that want to book their follow-up sessions. I would implore anybody, if you had a session with me in last month, this is on April, then you want a June session, July session. Yeah, if you want a July session, then hurry up and book, because it's going to be open to the crowd, and I can't tell you that you're going to be able to get what you need to get when I open it to the crowd. It usually books out very quickly when the new clients come in. So if you have a session, you got the email to book. If you got a session in April, to book for June, July. So yeah, get on that.
Yeah, he's being modest,
Monday,
people.
On Monday, sessions for July will be open to the public.
Yeah, man. People, he's been very modest. Simple terms. It open Monday, it's gonna sell out Monday. So if you're serious about getting a session with Danai, you want to be already signed up on his website, dhalladvisory.com.
I have a long list. Priority list, if you want to go on it. Yeah, so go on the website. You can click the link on my page, dhalladvisory.com. When you click book a session, you will not see book consultation. You will not see any available sessions right now, fully booked out, but July will open on Monday. But you can jump on the priority list, jump on it, send your email, and you put your name on your email, and you get an email on Monday before I make a tweet that is open. So you'll know when it's open the moment it's open.
Yeah. And I would advise I advise you guys to move on it very quickly, because if it open Monday, it's almost certainly going to sell out Monday. Or you can come to one of the growers and be the person who be one of the 2 or 3 people who participates the most. You don't have to get all the questions right or anything like that, but just participate the most. And those people will get I have slots that I have already reserved, and you wouldn't even have to wait till July, because I think I have some slots from before then too. So, but that's not a guarantee. That's for the people who participate. They're not that many slots that I have reserved. So yeah, you have many options in front of you. Somebody on Craig said, if I don't have a grower after payday, Craig, remember also the 9-to-5 life was my life for a long time. So yes, there is one after payday. In fact, a lot of people have been asking for a grower on a Sunday. I don't know if they're 7th day or them just busy on them Saturday. I haven't done a Sunday grow in a long time. So this month, May, I'm doing one on Sunday. Sunday, May 29 is the grow that is after payday. And so if you're interested, you can do that one. Or if you don't have to worry about payday, if your life set up like that or your credit card set up like that, you can do the split grow. Now, both of them give you a discount to the night session. And like I said, the people who participate the most, there are 2 or 3 slots that you will get those priority slots and you'll be able to see them way ahead of that, right? Lots of options for you there if you want to learn or you want to get it, right? And I can tell you that no, also, if you've done it already, you want to have a rebooking put forward because the way the market is moving, going back to the topic, the market isn't down now. But like even for me, I have been looking at my portfolio and I'm thinking about reorganizing it right now, right? Just to set it up for like let's say I wouldn't call it a real quarter, but we're in May now. So I mean setting it up for the rest of May, June, July, how I want to approach a quarter. I'm reworking my portfolio as it is now. And that's something that you need to do if you plan to actively make money off the market, right? So if you haven't seen Danai or if you have seen him in the last year, you see him in January, you might very well want to book a new session with him to update your thing. Depending on how your goals set up. Yeah. Things change. The market change all the time. All right.
I find that usually the shorter term ones are what I usually prescribe that we do ongoing. If you're doing a very, very long term, we can set up a portfolio that you'll be for the next 15 years, you do whatever, then your level of checking in does not have to be so frequent.
True. And those are the smart people, right? But most people, even if they say them long term, them find that them soon as everything starts, is this still good? Should I still? You want to check in. But yeah, if your portfolio is truly a multi-year portfolio, 10, 15 years, that's probably one of the greatest things. Yeah. Like those NCB shares that are just sitting there waiting for him to realize some real value on. All right, next person we had was Sir Vito Carter, Cap God himself. Vito Carter 7. What's up?
Yeah. Oh, all right. Nice.
Nice.
You guys were talking about NCB earlier and Carib Cement. Well, 2 stocks that everybody, they reach basically the pinnacle, highest points. So do you think they will ever go back to those points, like $200 price per share or over the 100 for Carib Cement?
I think, what you mean, ever?
NCB, will it ever?
Ever?
Yeah, like over time or in the foreseeable future, like within the next year.
No, what?
So you see the change on you realize what that's all, right? The difference between what you just say and what you just say.
Yeah, like within the next year.
All right, you hold on. I can tell you've never done grow up because wow. Which one is it? It's exactly what I just said, Adonai. Everybody will say them long term, and they're really long term, you know. Say that again. You want to know if we think that in the foreseeable future, NCB and Carib Cement will ever go back to their highs within the next year?
Yeah, technically, like not say foreseeable, but over the next year. So that over the next year, I think it would bounce back.
So don't say over the next year, but over the next year.
No, man, I said not foreseeable.
So it's not foreseeable future. It's over the next year, but I think so.
Over the next year, yes.
Boy, that's an expensive question.
Yeah, really don't know. Those are 2 things that one, I suppose the answer is yes, and you believe is yes, and then I say yes, and I say yes, and I give some reasons laying it out, and then I give some reasons also laying it out and showing how it could do. You'd probably be able to make some money if you have some shares if you have shares in NCB or Carib Cement, right?
Yeah.
The thing we say work out.
And if you go,
the thing again, like you could also like go in with a larger portion now, seeing the stock is down.
So you'd make even more money if that happened.
If that happened.
Yeah, and so we must just get that way for free, though.
No, I'm not saying give it for free, but just
that's right. So if you book a session at D Hall Advisory, and
you're literally asking. You're asking his advice. You know, it's Danai. If I buy this, if I put my money here, it's putting my money here. What's NCB price now, Randy?
$109.89.
And go back to $200. How much return?
I'm near 100% in
100%. No.
In 1 year.
Follow question, the reason that I asked that is because maybe like you have a lot of IPOs coming out now, so probably it would be more profitable to just cut the losses and then
Boy, yes, yeah, ask the
But
question, expensive one, expensive one. It sounds a lot like advice. And it sounds a lot like things one Randy said now got answer because he cannot answer, and me can't answer because you're not my client in that way.
Yeah.
Me and
alright,
FSC, yeah, FSC give me my license. I'm not trying to lose it.
Yeah.
true sir.
All right, but
Alright,
think
so
about
like
it though. Oh, go ahead, continue. I like where you're going with this. General.
Yeah, me too.
generally speaking, like based on the situation around Carib Cement and like the increase in stock price that they're going to have, how you think that will affect the play or the
The
company
increase in what?
In stocks
prices? No, not stock price, like general prices of cement.
You tell me. What happens? What do you think will happen?
Oh, they can, like general profits can increase, like gross profits, but then they're still paying out a lot of money to, I think, Cimex or something like that, Mexican company.
The
So
owners
then
of the company, the
they,
majority shareholders.
the parent company or something like that.
Yeah.
But even if they can still say getting more profits, but then the probably majority of the profits will be paying out to the parent company. So I don't know if like shareholders will see more or majority of that.
All right, what's an interesting thing there. We know how much money, or we know the band within which Cimex will think that. They tell us the management fee, right? And we know how to calculate it. So we know that if Carib Cement make X amount of money, they'll be paying X amount, and then the net profit is likely to be X amount based on all those nice things, revenue going up by whatever, and then the fee being thing there. So how much money does Carib Cement have to make? How much revenue does Carib Cement have to make for the payout to make sense? The payout to still be profitable more than previous times. I don't know if I asked it in a nice way or in a sensible way or
It made
understanding.
sense.
I understand, but I say I'm not sure. I can't answer it
You
right
can,
now.
man. You can. When you say not
can,
right now,
yeah,
what you mean?
No, because I'm not sure of the percentages. So that's what I say. I'm not sure I can answer.
Yeah, a ballpark. What do you think?
So like, just give me an estimate, like how much them paying out.
Me no know. You say you know it, you know. All right, you see the fact that you don't know this. This is the sort of thing you have to know if you're going to be serious about investing. You don't want to trust two guys on the internet just telling you. Because I can't tell. I don't have it in my head. I don't have it in my head right now. So
I used to.
So I would have
I used to be able to tell you the thing that the actual, but I forgot to check it back.
Yeah, so I would have to. You see the financials that we have up now. I would have to go and check. I would have to go and check what it is like. In first quarter, the royalty and service fee was 133.8. Call it 33.9 million Jamaican dollars for the quarter, and they still made 1.59 billion in profit. So the profit went up versus the same time last year. Right? So the profit still went up even with 133 billion in royalty fees paid out.
I think I would have to probably like try and do some more research. I'm fairly new to the market still, so probably if I get the information, I can come back and ask the question.
All right.
Say.
But
I get it.
The information is there, man. So I go on My Money JA, and under that Carib Cement tab, like I'm looking at the first thing, they showing me they said for this year, the royalty fee will be 2% of net sales, right? So you know that how much money, if you can look at Carib Cement and say, boy, all right, then the margins are X, but because this new thing will throw whatever range into that, then you have to say how much I'm have to make in revenue to beat that new thing. And then you ask yourself, will the increase that I'm seeing in cement prices offset that, where it's profitable more than so? And then that's not everything that ties into the share price. Carib Cement has seen large shareholders exiting or selling large volumes. I don't know that that's going to stop. It could be a case that every time that person sees that those shareholders or whoever's selling sees a certain amount, they say sell down. You don't know what exactly reason they sell and that kind of thing. The situation that a large shareholder was complaining about is still the case. The thing we're looking at right now has a lot to do with that. The royalty fee versus we're not getting a dividend.
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's still the situation.
In fact, it's exactly the situation. No, it is.
Yeah.
It's extremely. It is what they were complaining about actually happening now. Make no mistake. That's 133.8 million Jamaican dollars that that could have been going to the bottom line instead.
Shareholders.
Yeah, it could have been going to shareholders. That could have been a dividend. That'd be a nice dividend. They haven't paid a dividend in what, 15, 16 years?
And then one man getting a nice payment.
Yeah.
In fact, this one man getting a nice payment removes a lot of the balling for a dividend, because if I own 70% of a company, it's me first about the dividends. You know?
Exactly.
So you think you want a dividend? They like the dividend, but they know themselves. This thing happens. They don't need to. Do they need a dividend? No, that they getting this.
Yeah.
That's a question. So still the situation.
Yeah, the situation hasn't changed.
If you can see, if you can say, boy, maybe it starts the situation. Maybe the situation changes, or maybe the situation no longer affects them in whatever way, and that kind of thing. And then you actually look at the numbers for Carib Cement, and you expect X amount of profit or whatever, and you know what you want from it. There's a lot that goes into it. Trust me, the simple answer, it not gonna help you.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not willing to give the answer.
Yeah. What sounds oftentimes like a simple answer. You know how when somebody good at something and them do it look easy? Yeah. The simple answer that can be given would not do you, it would be a disservice to you, because you would not be learning the little intricacies that you have to pay attention to make that simple answer, to get what goes into it. Right? Yeah. The simplest thing as you've heard, is that could have been a dividend. That would have been a hell of a dividend too.
Yeah. I think generally, like, I think I definitely push with all my clients. Learn, like, just learn the market, like, get some level of knowledge behind it. And I always say it this way: the more you know, then the more I can help, because there's a certain risk you take when you walk into the I don't know line. I can tell you something today, and we're looking at it, whatever, right? And things shift in a certain way. And because you're not privy to you're just not really looking at the market in a certain way, whatever, then that will affect you in a way that it probably wouldn't affect me. We're not, you hear me? I'm investing from my perspective and whatever. If you don't know anything about the market, you're going, to a strong degree, you're going blind. Because, cool, I can give you something, whatever, and the point, so I get confirmation of something that would change that situation, right? And I don't communicate at the same time. That kind of thing. Then you're kind of taking on more risk from certain aspects. I think generally the people that make the most money are the ones that know the most. Big up out himself more than one time. Big up Jerry. I always tell people the story of how Jerry and his own situation and how he make a bag of money on the market with that thing. And trust me, like, the level of knowledge I see, level of time and effort that Jerry put into the market, and the level of knowledge he has around the market, truly, a conversation with him versus other clients, it goes very differently. And because, boy, we can talk on a different level, I think. That, like, boy, we can say, if the what if situation becomes much more real, say, all right, cool, if we're in this and this thing happens, then Jerry can be looking out for this, so he knows, say, all right, cool, he can do whatever, because he's looking at the parameter already, that kind of thing. If you start telling certain things so people that don't really know, it just go over their head. Just honestly, you actually have more risk the less you know. So really and truly put time, learn the market, learn what's going on with the companies, if it's even just the stocks you're in.
Especially the stock you're in.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, damn right.
Yeah, especially the stock you're in. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And Jerry's a great guy. Jerry and a lot of the grower grads, they.
Oh, yes.
The knowledge I see the payoff, and here then I talking about Jerry is not a finance person talking about, right? A lot of these people are not finance people, are regular other jobs, but they learn, and now they're fund managers, but the fund is their personal fund, right?
Yes.
I know a lot of people business, but there is a serious amount of gain that you can get from the market, and I encourage everybody to to seriously look out for it. Look out for that level of gain that you can get from the market, because it's not a joke thing. You can a second paycheck or a main paycheck if you want, where you can choose to work from home. But yeah, if you have, go ahead, Danai.
Pick up a client of mine, also a girl grad. She never got learn the first and second day listing. And we had a chill session on our advanced girl, and he had run through the circuit breaker rule, and she was asking for clarification on certain things there. She linked me in the night and say, "Yo," she was wanting full clarification on how exactly it works. She do her master plan thing or whatever, and then in the morning she got attack the market, and she was one of those that got it. Got you know, everybody's saying, "Boy, I can't get any learning shares." She was one of those that got a substantial amount of learning shares at the time. So you know, so she's far up on her investment. She got a very low price, some in the IPO, something there. And just her saying, "Boy, cool. I don't really understand how this thing works. I have some level of idea. I'm gonna clarify." And it shocked me, because in my mind, boy, if you're going for it now, it's kind of hard. And I did tell her that whatever. But then in the evening, the next day, I got the shares this morning.
Yeah,
that
kind of knowledge.
She know the rules around the thing, and she can plan around it specifically.
Yeah, and it was an advanced girl that I touched on just literally how the circuit breaker works, and understanding that, especially in IPO times, can be very, very lucrative. Yeah, man.
Everybody that comes to me that wants the high, the strong, the very high returns, right? I tell them, all right, one, it's a large part of this where you're on your own, because if you're looking for that level of return, you're taking on more risk. And if you can't manage that, and it's heavier for you because you're at the point where you probably don't really know certain things, right? An IPO is a godsend, because if an IPO comes good, you can make a lot of money towards a goal, right? Then, somebody else messaged me and just killed my train of thought. But yes, the person who just asked me, yes, is you I was talking about that that did the learn thing. But yeah, IPO. When people come down very high goals, the one of the biggest, I always push and say, yeah, man, you need to learn the math. You need to think that. And if an IPO comes, you need to learn the circuit breaker rule, because it's one of those things that you almost can't miss. If you want 100% in a year, and you figure you can get 50% on an IPO across all the money you put in there, that's a light thing.
That's not
so you need to learn the
least.
rule. So when the time comes, you can attack it, because it cuts the risk you take across every single other day. If you can get 50% up in 1 month over your whole portfolio, and you want 100% over a year, right? Anything that was down, you correct it. Anything going well already, that's more money on top of it. It really give you a strong boost towards that. So yeah, if you're looking for certain levels of return, there's no way around just learning more about the market. You will put yourself in problems.
Yep. And it is not just IPOs is just one situation
Just
in
one
which
of those things. Yes,
it becomes very
yeah.
But just day to day, things happen on the market and you're no longer lost. The sharp people, all them have the same reaction. I link them and say, yo, you know the market was down? What? No, because they're not buying the market. They're in specific plays, and as long as the play I'm in or the plays I'm in aren't going badly, I don't know what's going on out the road. It's like if you work on yourself, if I work on my house, I try to fix up my house and make sure my house is great. I don't know so them a war downtown because I'm not downtown. You know, as long as everything is going on good within my circle, that's how I approach it. So yeah, that skill that you get, that's those skills that you can pick up, as simple as it is, as it might sound. That's one of the things I talk about at Advanced Grow, going into specific things over time, because it almost always works out for you. By the way, if you're sending a speaking request, I know a couple of people have sent speaking requests. My phone is overheating. The space I burn up my phone. So send it again if you haven't. I'm not ignoring you. It literally is just not popping up on time. So I'm seeing it after a while. I know 2 people sent, and is when it minimizes, it pop up that they're sending speaking requests. So if you send a speaking request or something you want to talk about, ask about, hear us talk about, just resend the speaking request and we will approve. And then if you see it on your end, just approve it for me now. If you see it on your end, just approve it for me. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm still not seeing anybody on my side. And when I minimize it, I see it pop up. Yeah, I know.
Same
It's
one thing.
there are none now, but I know that it pops up
Mhm.
from time to time, and then I tend not to see it. So if you have any question, anything that you want to ask about, this is a perfect opportunity because I think I accidentally cleared all of the speaking requests. I also saw, I also saw something that I think is Phil that just shared about the if dollar will do a, what was it? If dollar will is open
Give
to,
a loan
Give a loan.
yeah, for the
to buy
IPO.
their IPO. Hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. So it's a good question. I don't know if are they allowed.
The man
Why
replied,
not?
brother.
Oh,
You
yeah, you
replied.
can.
Reply.
Why would they not? It's business, isn't it?
We can
They're
do
in
it in
business
You
to
30
give a
replied,
minutes.
loan.
sir.
Perfect. Yeah, but you know I hate giving away free money, but I can give away free money here. If Money Mirror is listening, yeah,
No, I don't want to give away that free money. Link me.
yeah. Link up.
We'll talk. We work out something.
There's future revenue, heavy future revenue out there. Heavy future revenue out there for you. But I see what you say now, Phil. That would make sense, right? That would make sense. I'm saying 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Loans
man.
really are the way
Perfect.
forward. You know, imagine for no, and again, not telling anybody to take a loan to do any IPO or any investment. It is a riskier thing. All right, there is technically higher risk in borrowing money to invest because if you lose the money, you still owe the loan, you know.
Same amount of money I pay back. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go into the bank and borrow $1 million and you go to a road and somebody grab it and run with it, you still owe the bank $1 million, right?
Your pocket Takamoto.
Yeah. So I'm not telling people to do that, but if nobody don't run and grab it from you, there is an opportunity for you to make some significant gains off borrowed money. Like, it's not me say it. Only part of people say it, including leeching. It's the only way to wealth. Debt is the only way to wealth. It's a weird thing. We grow for me. I always heard that
All
you
people's
shouldn't.
money.
Yeah, man. I always hear that you shouldn't. You want to avoid debt. A lot of people I know are very anti-debt. They really don't want to touch debt. They're not into that. But then they get a chance. And if you learn more and the more you learn is the more you find that you switch how you're seeing debt, and it becomes a tool. Then all of a sudden you almost stop using anything other than debt. You just
I'm
only,
almost an advocate for it.
yeah. In fact, I'm very
When
much
I
an
hear
advocate
people
for
say
it.
yes, when people come to me, I get certain goals and they're anti-debt. I say, we have to change that because it's not happening. It's not happening to that level without it. It changes the game. You take on some more risk, but more risk, more rewards. And if you're looking for that level of rewards, then you are taking all the risks, right? So you're going to need it will help you towards it. It make your life thing there much.
Yeah, much easier.
It's the way towards other people's money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the bank money and go make money on it.
Yeah,
Money out of nothing.
the two ingredients of wealth, actual wealth, generational wealth, if you will. 3 ingredients: debt, equity, and guts. Yeah, there's those 3 things. Other people money, owning a company, owning equity, and the ability to take the guts to take on the risk.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's a serious little trifecta that is often ignored, and especially the guts one.
Yeah, man. Trust me. You almost never kill the bird yet, you know.
Yeah.
When you're there, you line up the shot and you sit down and you wait and you say, yo, if I pull right now, I get it. But I'm afraid to miss. Bird not going dead if you don't shoot, bro. Right? So if you sit down and map out a play and it work in your head and whatever. So there's no profit in I told you so. Profit is profit. If you don't pull the trick or if you don't buy the thing, then you're not getting anything. Skin in the game. You're not you get nothing from money uninvested.
Yep.
Cash is a position.
All right, I see Sir Malik jump on. Malik, what's up?
Malik, say I'm gonna come try to your name. Almost.
Night guys. The only name I have is Malik Smith. So
Okay.
no one was stealing my name. But I just wanted to come and ask like a quick question. Someone mentioned to me that when they were looking at the pools for dollars prospectus, they didn't see a pool that said general pool like you would usually see. I don't know. Did you guys catch that? I don't think I saw anything
Well,
about a general pool.
Hold on,
I
have
am
you
far
read it
from
yet?
done reading it.
Yeah, it's fresh in Malik,
Yeah,
but did you read it?
I'm not close to finish reading it either. I just was looking on the early stuff first.
And you didn't
So
see a
what are the
general
pools you
pool?
see?
Read
I think I saw
more
reserve
carefully, bro.
shares. Pardon me?
It's right
No, man,
there.
let me hear what I'm saying. Let me hear what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
All right, so on page 7, right? I'm on application, then I see number 2, reserve shares. It says 125 million company applicants reserve shares, and 162.5 million key partner reserve shares. But I never saw anything about general investors.
How much is those
Oh.
two?
How much shares offered? How much shares in total coming out? The public can subscribe. Can everybody subscribe to?
I think 250?
Okay.
Around
More than that, but yeah,
I think around
right.
that.
500 mil.
So I think they were
Yeah.
just speaking about reserves.
I thought half of that wasn't available to the public though.
Page
So
12, 6.1.
There you go.
I think the thing you're
First
looking
paragraph.
at, they were just speaking about the thing there. They were just speaking about reserve shares. So they said, as we said, reserve shares to speak about it, not necessarily to tell all the pools that are available. Get me?
Oh, okay.
8.5% of the company is what's going to be up for grabs, Malik. 212,000, 212,500,000 shares. Yeah, 2 reserve pools and
reserve, that's it, yeah.
Equity
and
and
general.
First Rock. Yeah. So
of the 500, 212, or so 200 and something.
there you go. I thought you'd have been on top of that. That's you make me fret, you know. You make me worry, you know. You're worried, Malik. I'm worried, you know, brother. Please tell me that there is some other.
While up, yo, listen, you already do. And I've been guilty of this in the past, and I've definitely paid myself heavy. I think Randy probably know when I practiced to come out. I used to just read the ear, so, and then yo, dog, put this up, and then go tell him the rest. Just read through the whole thing, and then go talk about it after. Get a full sum view, and then trust me, it really helps.
Yeah, man. Remember the
yeah,
rule
man. I
above
just
all,
realized what you
don't
guys
change.
were saying. So basically, you just say the
These are
500
reserve
minus the. Pardon me?
Yeah, it tells.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I realize. Yeah, man.
It's just talking about reserve. It's not telling about the total pools. If you check 6.1, as Phil said, it tells you a total of up to shares have been initially reserved for subscription by the general public, while up to 287 whatever is for whatever. So yeah, they're there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Read the, and it's for everybody, not just you, Malik. Read the prospectus, read the whole thing. Trust me. Anybody, the advantage you get over the rest of the investing public from simply reading a prospectus is it's almost unfair. The advantage
Think of the amount of times we on this very show where just not like it's been very apparent where you never read that prospectus, so you're not really sure what's going on. A lot of things are out there in the prospectus. They actually tell you a lot about the company.
Yeah,
you can
go
years from now and check it back, and it's still relevant.
Yeah, especially years from now. Yeah, a lot of times they'll say things in the prospectus that they won't speak about again until it happens. Yeah. How much time do you hear me say LNG instead of LPG for FESCO? And then, it's and then the uses of LNG. Just read the full thing. Financial, same thing. And I tell to anybody watching, listening, you don't have to be like some finance genius to do this. The stuff is there that anybody can understand. And I know it because whenever I go through it and I point it out, everybody understands it then. And I didn't write it in. I just show, hey, this is what it is, right? So, yeah. just read the prospectus. Read the whole prospectus. There's a lot of value there. A whole heap of value. Have a long weekend, take a drink, sit down with your friend, them chill, and then just read the prospectus.
Breeze it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Especially if you plan to put money in there. And this one is a lot of money, so I think a lot of people will be applying. It's at $1, so I think a lot of people will be applying. As to whether or not it's good or bad or the best thing for you, that's another matter, but it is...
Speak to your advisor.
Yeah, speak to your advisor, but it's one way or another, it's a lot of money that's being pulled for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, man. $1 for dollar, I guess. So
Dollar
the
for
company.
dollar. Yeah, man.
But you guys, right before I did come on, you guys were talking about margin and basically using debt. Yeah, that I definitely agree with that. I've never actually done that before, but
So how you agree with
I
it?
am actually. Pardon me?
Oh, you agree
Oh,
with
yeah,
it?
agree.
I agree with it because I've seen what it has done for other people once they use it in the correct way. But I'm actually contemplating using some margin for maybe if this once I finish reading the whole prospectus since it came up earlier today. Some on this. Obviously, I'll take out like an amount that I can definitely handle and I have the capacity for though. Because risk management
up to
is
you.
very important. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's full. Yeah, that's definitely on you. That's up to you how much you take and if you can or can handle it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know.
Yeah, man.
Actually, I still am surprised that you have never taken margin. I would have think so
Me?
a bit on that. Yeah.
For real? I mean, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
really me, like I
Why
don't
not?
know many people my age that have gone into margin.
Look
But I
at
know
the age
older people.
business,
I
brother.
don't want many people your age that actually invest in. So
That's true.
Oh,
in
well,
this
yeah,
space,
that's
you're
true.
exposed to whatever many people aren't. Truthfully.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think
Remember-
say that on that long time.
Remember that level of
No,
investing.
no. This is the first time I'm going. Usually I stick to my own money that I actually own, but this time I'm actually
nobody's
contemplating
leeching at
if this
all.
company is good.
Nobody's leeching.
Well, I have to remember. I think the way how margin with some of the companies works is that you have to have like a certain amount in order to get a certain amount out. So I guess I would have to build up my own like capital base first a little.
Well, it depends.
Is that how it works?
I don't know what margins I get. I've never gotten it. Boy, you need to take a certain amount. It's just if you own X, we'll give you a loan of X% of X. So if
that's what I mean.
If you have $200, you can get $100. It's whatever you have, and that's what truly matters to you. It's not, boy, I can't get $1 million loan. I have X amount of money. I'm going to borrow as much as I can against it because that's the amount of money. The money you make is what matters to you. So if you can make 50 grand, and boy, Randy said, well, that 50 grand for the year is nothing, but suppose 50 grand was all you ever had, that's 100%.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, if it's not if you can take a big amount, it's big in relation to what you have.
Yep.
So
man.
Use that up.
I think about it, man.
Yeah.
If you suppose you really can't afford a $2 million loan, but you take it anyway. But you take it anyway, and you get 1.5 in the dollar IPO, and it double in the first week. Before the first loan payment due, you now have 2 million. I mean, did it work or did it not work?
Definitely worked.
All right. So I'm not telling you to that, but it is really as personal situation that you have to determine it on, and to be prudent. Let me also say the other way. If you take the 2 million and it drop, right? You still owe 2 million. All right. Now, if you go into the depth of how that actual risk analysis work, you'll realize that actually investigate the risk, and if you have sense, and I know you have sense, you will see where you'll see where the perception of risk, you'll see the areas in where the perception of risk outweighs the actual risk. But yeah, that's an advanced growth. That's not something I'd say here, but yeah, the reality of money is like I said, the three things: debt, equity, and guts. That's the three things that you need to make. You need to make money to build wealth. So yeah, big up Malik. So Malik, how you feel about the market since we have you here? I know you're the econ guy. Is the market down?
I don't know if I would even really say it's down. I feel like maybe I look a correction or people are just taking profit off of earning season. Maybe
Right?
I feel like it might be that. I don't know what would cause our market to be down, since our market is not as reactive as other markets, in my opinion.
Exactly. It would be that is a major point there. That it would be one of the first times that our market would suddenly be so reactive, and it's the whole market we're talking.
Especially when there's nothing like the heaviest we've heard along doom and gloom is speculation. Or maybe this thing affects us. We don't see the actual effects yet, but everybody tells us it will affect us, and the market react to that. I think that would be interesting for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, somebody listening to these guys finally.
Yeah, that would be a completely that would be a major thing if it were true, if it could, if it
Efficiency.
it would be suddenly be a very efficient market. Then I would have to worry about so many things. I think the most reactive our market has ever been is March of last year, March 2 years ago.
March 22. Yeah.
Yeah, March 2020 when COVID hit. I think that's the most reactive our market has ever been. And the truth is, they were primed because everybody was already in a exactly. Everybody's in a I'm either pulling my money already, or I am thinking about pulling my money because so many things are down. And then along came COVID, and boom, people rushed to do it. So people are primed to act. Yeah,
And speaking of March 2020, I did recall hearing a lot of people actually took out margin to get ready for TransJam, and then TransJam actually listed like I think a week after COVID came to Jamaica. And boy,
is that true?
No, pardon me?
Because is that actually true?
I heard. I don't know if it's actually true.
I'm not necessarily asking us like to really to contest that thought. You don't imagine. I don't know that most of the market is doing it.
No, I don't think most of the market is doing it. I feel like it's just a specific group of like investors that are more risky, maybe taking out margin. But I don't think the majority of people on the JC are taking out loans from family members or from institutions and like risking it like that.
And get burned though. Who would have done it and gotten burned?
That's the next.
I guess we'll never know. Some people lose money on them, and we don't know.
Your own and I think that that's the next thing. A good thing about margins, they're typically secured loans. So the shares you have, if it falls to a certain point, then they either sell it or take it, and you wipe the debt and you go about your business.
The actual loss.
As long as the shares you have cover everything, you're fine.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't, your risk is just the gap between the two.
Yes.
But I don't know. I mean, any investor, I'm thinking, I don't know everybody in the market, but I see certain footprints. I don't know of any margin level investors that would have been doing that around Trans-Jamaican time and to go in Trans-Jamaica.
I truly think our margin take up is very low.
I'm thinking only maybe the big money people could do that, and they could probably afford it. Yeah. Maybe the pensions or the
and they will wait. They will say, like, imagine waiting from 2020 to now. Imagine we're buying at the lows too, because they can't afford it. They are looking at a very different situation. COVID never looked terrible to them.
To the people buying, to the major people buying it while it was dipping.
I buy a lot more of my 20 odd stocks at these low points, and when it come back, I'm looking good.
Yeah. In fact, you average down below the IPO price. Just getting close to the IPO price is massive profit for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's huge opportunities along those lines. I can't imagine somebody taking margin and going into Trans-Jamaica and then staying there too.
Mm-hmm.
But people invest differently.
People forget how cheap thing they went again. Lombard Depot was very close to IPO price during the whole COVID thing there. 120. He got a lot for too cheap for a very long time. Yeah. You listed right before IPO?
Right before COVID? I think it listed late.
It was close to that time.
Late 2019, yeah.
I think so as well.
So when it didn't get any great rise because people were prepping for Trans Jamaica, and then by March, I mean, it didn't even have much of a COVID dip because I mean, it comes back down. But imagine that an IPO like lumber, if lumber listed 2 months ago, it probably be $4 or $5.
Yes.
Lumber then a few months after listing $1.12, 13 cents above IPO. And our market is so beautiful that we can talk about 13% ahead of. No, it wasn't $1. This didn't IPO at $1. No, it didn't. I'm making a mistake. I think of it as a $1 stock, but it's not.
It was $1.20.
120, yeah. So it
It
actually
was
was.
below IPO price.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Whew.
Well, so I knew about a lot. So I'm not saying it's not a what if moment here, but just remembering it and going back through the play.
No, man, not Transjam, lumber.
Oh, lumber. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
bought a lot of
Transjam don't
lumber
spend
during
money
that
on things
time.
there. That's funny. Transjam make what? They're up on the IPO price now.
Are they?
Yeah,
Like 4
returns so
cents?
far.
4 cents above it?
Yeah. So good. Are you? It's back down again. It was at 120, 170.
141 per share. And it's
No.
currently, that's what it IPO'd at. And it's
That's
currently at
where it
149.
IPO'd.
Yeah, so it's
currently
at 149.
149. Oh yeah, drop back for you, man.
So it's
Jesus.
but it's still 5.6%
No, yeah, man. That's not bad. I was going to say it's 170. How it was 170 or 160, and that would be what? It's at 170 other day.
When it was at
That's a 20%. That's actually considered a good 2-year investment.
when it touched
That's funny.
that
Like Transjamaica was seen as so bad for such a while, and touched 20% up after 2 years. And globally, that's not a bad. That's a good return.
That's an amazing return. That's why I said the Jamaican market is so good that we can look on 13% return and act like it's bad. Meanwhile, yeah, it's rough. When we from other markets listen to us talking, sometimes they DM me, sometimes like I've had conversations with people from other markets, and when they actually listen to the percentages we're talking about, like we frown on 20-odd%, 30-odd%. It's just it's after IPO is a month and only the 20%. Look at JFP. JFP.
Yeah, I'm going to say that JFP has a great return. You know, it's at least this year, no, bro. Like
56%. Yeah, one day before Eddie Focal.
There's no way you frame that as a bad thing. What people are. Where you can get 50% on in a month.
That's legal. That's not scammy.
Yeah.
That's not risky. And depending on who you ask, that's undervalued. But when you hear people talking about IPOs in terms of IPOs this year,
JFP make it sound like JFP never do nothing.
Exactly,
JFP,
right?
But the truth is, it's done. In fact, I keep saying this: if you actually believe JFP is undervalued, right? 50% up from IPO. We are the whole context of the conversation is 50% up from IPO price is a crazy idea to most people on the market. Being able to buy any, if you say, "Yo, I'll give you a spur tree at 150," no, I don't know anybody that would take it, right? So if you have that belief around it, to me, this is a great time to be buying. It's cheap compared to where IPOs generally are. Everything go right, you know. I don't see it down here. So really 50% in a month.
56%.
That's a good 2 years. That's a good 3 years on the market.
Again, and well, at least in the case of JFP, you would have been able to get a larger allocation. So again, I'm thinking about a debt investment going into it where you'd have gotten more, and then the ability to buy a whole lot more because there's lots of units that traded. Still trading.
If somebody wants a big block, they can. If somebody wants a large stake in JFP, they can get that now.
Yeah, let's see. If you wanted to get 5, you could buy on Monday 3 million units in JFP, depending on who your broker is, who's a popular broker. Everybody likes JMB. If your broker is JMB, that's a good question. Let's see, they just dropped the first quarter numbers and See if we see any familiar names. We do not. 3.1 mil. 3.1 mil to get into the top 10. And if you wanted to, on Monday, you could get about 3 million units for...
You could go up the top. You could go up the top thing.
Yeah, you could hit
Top
the breaker.
6.
Yeah.
You
Not
could,
top
you could go to
6.
top 6 and chill.
Not when you say top 6, oh, as in you
I
buying...
mean, the units are there. Because for 5 million to go to thing there, you could...
Yeah.
I'm looking at those top 5 are looking at people close to the company. That's the top 6.
Yeah, wow.
But you could be just below that line. But with this, and your average price wouldn't be crazy.
You wouldn't even have doubled.
Yeah.
In a year, you might... Woo, if you believe
All
in
goes well in a year, sitting pretty. Yeah, if you believe. Buying is believing.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. Hold on. If you want to buy it here, 10.3 million, including taxes and fees, you'd get it 10.3, call it 10.4 million. And you're getting 5.9 million units at 179 on average. Your average price is $1.79, including taxes and fees. And the thing is at $1.56 now. And I do a call with my grower group. I do a call with them maybe later or tomorrow. So impromptu call Sunday or something. Not Sunday, definitely not Sunday, but maybe tomorrow. Yeah, wow. Look at that. Wow. So Malik, which one of them you buying?
Wait, hold on. What you just say?
I said which one of them you buying, but I guess none.
You were saying something about JFP, right? I had to step away for a quick second.
That's all right. Don't worry. I think everybody else who did step away caught it. But I mean, you raised some good points as always, Malik, and got us down a tangent that
Man.
I think is
when you guys were
interesting.
talking about the 50%, by the way, I think JFP peaked at like $1.90 something. In fact, so, and I had, I think I have a friend that sold for like $1.90 something, but that was during the whole entire time when it just came out and everything. So
I know
It
that.
just come
I have
out.
a friend that, I have a client that the moment the listing, they got, cause you could get units early. Unlike with thing there, you could actually compete and get units early. She said, yo, she just go in early, like within those first 3 days, she was in and out.
Yeah.
With a good amount of money. So
Yeah. And you can't, people come to grow. Yeah, and it's back down. And it is back down, and there's still units. Because there's other distracting things. There's spoil for choice in the market. So Malik, all of that to cap it off, you said that you said that you don't think that the market is down, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's down. I think people just maybe taking profit, and also they're also preparing maybe for potential IPO, and that might be dollar as well. So
I thought you were going to say something else because I started writing same time. So
I mean, it's not a potential IPO if it's here.
It's here.
Well, it was going down, wasn't it, before dollar was released or revealed today? So that's why I said potential.
Okay, so
yeah,
I think a lot of things might get some selling pressure now that dollar is here.
And Tuesday. Oh god.
Yeah, and there's a lot more, and there's
so
a lot.
Everybody that's panicking about them stock falling, say an IPO is right there.
Yeah,
you might. And I just tell you about people people running and panicking, running for the hills and causing the price to fall. You might see a lot more of that because, all right, cool. I see the market down. I hear the market down. I hear recession and whatever. I know an IPO is right there. And I saw how the last couple ones did. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of that. So.
It's a good thing that I had a certain cash position. Like I just had dry powder just sitting down waiting for.
What?
So dollar that was mostly for in anticipation of dollar.
How long you been anticipating?
I had the money for like maybe a week and a half in the available balance.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's not long. It's like
how do you know dollar was dropping today?
No, I never knew it was dropping today, but I knew that it was upcoming.
How?
But upcoming could have been long time again. JP is still upcoming for 2 years.
Yeah.
How long were you willing
The Caribbean
to
Dreams.
Well,
the
that's
Caribbean
the
Dreams
government
spin-off
still.
still. The
how
Caribbean
long were you
Dreams
willing to
spin-off
wait?
is still.
No, I can never is all this yet.
Yeah.
I don't say they still is, but they've been upcoming. Manpower been upcoming.
Ajas.
The last we heard from them was upcoming.
Ajas still upcoming. Yeah.
So the question
All right,
is, how long are you willing to wait?
Till like about next week Monday actually, after Labor Day. But the reason why I feel like they were gonna come really, really soon is because they were gonna do the thing with Mayberry, and then I was hearing more and more buzz about them. So I was like, I really feel like they're going to come like around early June or late May, and just luckily, them released it. So
if Monday come and nothing, or you're going to buy if Monday came and no dollar?
If Tuesday came and nothing ever happened, then I get back in the market and do other stuff.
All right, and then what? If dollar come after, make you buy them.
Then I just do something else and try and get some cash, and then once, if I like the company, of course, and I already read through everything that I need to read through, then I do what I have to do there.
You have to find funny too. Look on this too. If dollar drops, right? Then no, I mean the IPO come out. If the IPO comes out, we do have a bit of a time before we can think then. Before we move, we don't have to move. Like, we don't need to have cash on hand because the IPO prospectus being released doesn't mean we jump in on the IPO same time. It's not Monday. It's not Tuesday IPO opening. So we almost always have a good while to make our plans around that. To me, I don't believe in sitting down on cash just for the sake of trust me, I've been there. And I learned very quickly say, this wait and IPO thing. Meaning the year says a next week thing, and it's another week, and then it's a month, and then the year says probably not go this. Yeah, I don't wait on IPOs. When an IPO come, you take it. And I have ample time to do what I need to do around that, find the money somewhere.
Yeah, man. You've done grow, Malik, so you know that I speak about how understanding the rules there help. At Grow I speak about how understanding the market rules can help you. It's not a light thing. I talk about it in my grad group all the time too. Understanding the market rules allows you to make money and sometimes save money. So for you telling me say you pull money, I mean, I don't call you Lord Cap for nothing. Like I know you're lying. I figure this was like when a child telling the parent, I don't know who brought it. Like I know you're lying. But forget the fact that you're lying. If in my view, I'm sorry if you're telling the truth. I'm not saying that. Yeah, man. Well, I mean that's a bond ball. But the fact that you pull money for it, if you're telling the truth, you pull money for it. Why?
No, as in I never pull money deliberately like that. I remember I was taking some profits because I sold some other stuff previously, and then I was there sitting down from like last week, and I never also really saw anything to buy really either. So it's just there.
In the market last week, you never see nothing for buy? In this market?
I never jump in anything to buy. I never did jump in there in anything. I was
you're afraid
like, for example,
somewhere?
I had said,
You're afraid the things fall somewhere?
Better you did buy
that was actually one of the things I was looking out for as well, because I realized some stuff were going down and I never see some stuff being bought back up. So I was saying that, all right, let me just sit, and also dollar look like it's very, very close. But I was gonna go back in after Labor Day weekend, so that would have actually been next week.
You give yourself a promise too, because look on that too. At what point did I get up on it, or make you decide that whatever you're looking at is a good place to buy it? If it gone down, will you wait till it buy back up to buy it, or you just buy it whatever? So what I mean? If we think on the 22 and you think it going back to 27, because it would fall down from 27 though, either wait till back at 27 or either buy at 22 because you know the 22 is a good price for you if you think it's going back to X.
I think if it's going back up, I'm going to buy it.
How you know it's going back up? And how do you know when the turnaround point is? How you decide that this is the floor? And
I mean, I
it sounds like you're
already
uncertain
explain.
now.
I did kind of explain this to you guys, but remember I use a thing called technical analysis, so I know when to jump back in just the position. So like I look on the volume, I look on the price history, the trend lines, etc. But I would have to I don't know how to explain all of that to everybody like through audio alone.
So
Do
things
you
there,
just
any
whisper cap underneath your breath?
Yes, sir.
how
Hard
Tuesday
cap.
work out for you?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. As somebody who actually knows it, right? It's one thing I know because I'm not in the circle. I know that there's a strong insider circle in Jamaica, right? And that it's always been that way. In the finance, it's a very small circle, and a very small circle of people, and them all talk to each other because either you have the skills or you have the social skills. And so a lot of things spill out of the circle because people talk. Everybody say, oh, dollar might be close, dollar might be close, dollar might be close, dollar might be close. And then somebody who knows say, oh, dollar might be close, right? And I come on, I'm not dumb. I do this every week. You know a lot of the same people. You know David. David is your good friend. David who writes. Come on. Like, I know that you know it was close. Well, you're going don't listen, don't cut cry slippers. Don't swear off your brethren. I'm not saying that you got it from David, by the way. But I use David as an example to say
Randy, hold on. I didn't get anything from anybody.
Cool. Technical analysis showed you that a stock that was not that had not put out its prospectus yet was coming soon. What I'm saying is, forget that because I don't care how you knew. What I'm saying is, and the thing that Dana started saying, which is a gem I think we can all take from this, is that understanding the rules would help you to tighten up a lot of your investment strategy. Because whether or not the market signals, which I understand, showed you that a prospectus was coming through the FSC, which is not listed, or
that's
somebody
not
told
what
you.
I said, but all right, go ahead, man.
No, I know you're taking profit, but my point is, if you're considering holding cash in anticipation of a possible dollar IPO, that is, let's say, a week of gains that could have been maximized and still get into dollar with the money. In fact, you'd have more money to put into dollar. I know I like that you're considering debt. So you'd have an even greater asset base to borrow against. You get me? So I'm saying understanding the rules and the understanding of the rules helps with that. Because you know that dollar could not come out Friday evening and open Tuesday morning. It could not come out Tuesday and open Wednesday. Like the law prevents that. Not even the rules, the law. So if the law has a gap, the gap is cool. That's why then I can go easy. That's why I can go easy. I don't have to rush an IPO. If it's good, I will have more than enough time to read the prospectus review and I will know it's good. The law prevents it. So that means then that my money can keep on working harder for me instead of being pulled in anticipation of something. Because even if I expect that the greatest IPO is coming, I can take my time. You get me? So I don't care how you knew it. I'm just, the gem I want you to get from it is that you can tighten up your investment strategy by leaning on the rules, the things that must happen. That's the thing I want you to get from it.
I get what you're saying, but like I said, I don't really actually know anything. I don't have connections like that. So, as in, like, the FSC could have, like, take all of my devices. They wouldn't find anything because my links aren't that high. So, it could just be a coincidence, though, Randy.
Listen to Cuba. Listen to
waiting on it.
Yeah, because a lot of talk was going on about it, and then you were supposed to go on a Mayberry thing, but that never did happen again. But I think a lot of people could have said, yo, I really feel like dollar is coming very soon. I don't think you have to know anybody or have any information.
Well, I don't have
to that then.
Yeah, I don't have any information.
It's just like rumors, I guess.
Pardon me? Why give it any weight if you don't think it has any weight?
Wait, repeat that. I don't get what you're asking.
I think you missed the point Randy was making about the insider circle. There's a reason you gave those rumors weight, right?
Yeah, because it's a big opportunity.
From somewhere. No, that's not why I give it weight. Weight meaning you think there's some validity to people saying dollar sold this, right?
I guess because I'm excited for it, but
I'm going to reframe that. There's a reason you believe that somebody's saying, the general rumor mill saying, hey, the lawsuit list, you believe that's a credible source, or there's some credibility to it. There's a reason to believe that, right? Because you know it's coming from somewhere that might be close to within that same circle of people that know when certain things happen. That's the idea. Get me? Like my broker, like my thing there, like my clients getting called from them broker saying, "Hey, an IPO soon come. Look out." There's a reason my clients are getting those calls.
Yeah, I mean it's known. We saw certain tweets. I'm not even saying that's a bad thing.
Oh,
Signs
wow.
are there.
For real?
Yes, for real. We saw certain tweets. What do you mean? That's why you notice again. My point is not directed
To be honest,
around.
half of what the finance people on Twitter even tweet about, like half of them fly over my head. I don't even know what them like alluding to, but yeah, their tweets about different stuff, I guess.
So
Like when they're being
Malik,
cryptic in what they're saying.
we're not saying about inside source, man. We're not saying that. We are saying there is a source, and this is where these things come from. So you can make decisions on those bases. But the truth is, it's still somewhat unreliable. And in my mind, especially you as a short-term trader, you don't need 10 grand sitting down for an IPO. You need to know that you can have your 10 grand when an IPO comes up. And that can be a sell. You can be in a play and you sell the stock at 2% down or 3% up when you're looking for 10. But you know that IPO come, and in 7 days you need your money. You don't need the money the moment the IPO drop. You get me?
Yeah.
That's a bigger point there. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I get your point.
Yeah, man.
I'm willing to bet money that all you're taking from it is the
insider part.
Is the insider part.
No, it's not that. I mean, what you guys were saying, right, is that in looking for something that is basically a rumor and you're not fully sure, the news is not fully solid, I could be earning stuff meanwhile I'm sitting down on the dry powder.
No,
Yeah.
no. What I'm saying, Malik, is that leaning
No,
on the rules.
Randy.
Yeah, leaning on
and the rules as well. And the rules as well.
No, man. All I'm saying is leaning on the rules is a better strategy for your money because it allows it to work for longer, right? I don't care who you hear from, I don't care if, suppose, and this is a supposition, I don't know the CEO of Dollar, but suppose it was my brother. And him come home and tell me for a fact say it coming out next week or whatever, right? FSC give me the bus. Even then, I would not have pulled money. I'll pull money when it come out. I'll pull money maybe 2 business days before the actual IPO. Or maybe knowing me, I probably wouldn't pull money. I'd probably do my loan then, to do my application then, right? 2 days before the opening date or something. So I don't care how you know. That's unimportant to my point. My point is understanding the rule because the laws of this country put a gap in there. So you can lean on that gap in order to make more money. That was my point to you.
So knowledge is power.
There we go.
Definitely.
There we go.
Yeah, man, guys.
Yeah, man, Mike. Big up every time.
Big up,
yeah,
Mike.
Man. Same to you guys.
All right. Nyla. Hey, Miss Nyla.
Hi, Randy. I'm here. How are you guys?
We're doing okay.
How you stay?
Mr. Nice, I'm doing very well over here.
Sounds good.
I just had a quick question in regards to IPOs, right? So, of course, the dollar prospectus dropped, so everybody's excited. Well, people are doing their due diligence, I would assume right now, for around that.
It's a
but
big
my
assumption.
question, well, I would hope that
Me
people are
too.
doing their due diligence. But my question is in terms of the allocations, right? Or the allotment that people normally get when the IPO closes and so on. I often hear a lot of talk about how you can triple up when you do an IPO based on what we've seen so far for Spur 3 and so on and so forth, right? That however much you invest, you could potentially get a large, fairly reasonable return on that in a short amount of time, right? But My question is, based on the kinds of allotment that I've seen so far, it seems as though you have to be a pretty, what would you say? I don't know, like not a typical investor to get those large volumes, right? Allocated. Because like I think Sport Tree, oh, I was looking back at Eddie Focus and I think they did 10,000 shares and they did 16.5% of the excess. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much is the average investor really making from an IPO? And when I say
No,
average, I mean if I put in 100,000, like just work, help me through this math here, because I'm trying to math it in my head and it's not really mathing, right?
watch this style.
So
Mm-hmm.
if I put in, say, all right, let me just say I'm pretty nice and I put in a 500K. So I put in a 500K for what you call it? Let me say Edufocal. Where would that land me? In terms of say all right say I just sell
What?
as Randy was doing an example earlier, so somebody held from IPO and they just sell say today at like what 3 point, where did Eddie Focal close today, 3.2, I don't remember the exact number, 3.4 or something like that,
Three
right?
dollars
How
and
much would I
fourteen
have made?
cents.
$3.14, yeah. So
But it
how would that
IPO'd at a
have worked
dollar.
out
It
for me?
it IPO'd at a dollar, so you'd have been up. Your money would have grown 314%,
Well, look on this now.
but your profit would actually be
Well,
214%.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you got. But look on this, Nyla, Miss Nyla. An
Yeah.
interesting thing you mentioned about bigger investors. In fact, with the basis that we have here, bigger investors get more money in, but in terms of the value to them, if I put $50,000 to Edufocal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got 32% of what I applied for. If I put 500,000, then very different ball game. Actually, let me do it right now and tell you what percentage of my actual money that I put did I get in the IPO.
But you work it out
You
here,
see this?
Nyla. That's what this is, So you're minus 10,000 shares.
I need to do the thing that
All right.
I will only get 17% of my money in. So I'd put up 500,000 and get back only in the IPO $88,000. Go to the IPO. If I put 50,000, 30,000. Name again, that's what, 30 something thousand dollars? Or let me just actually do it.
Yeah, I thought you were working it.
I did, but scroll up in the calculator. You get $16,000 in. So again, less money in, but the total portion of my money that gets into the IPO is more than for the bigger investor. I just get more money in. Like, they can't fight that because I have more money to put. But at the end of the day, it's not my 500,000 going up. If I get thing that if this $16,000 I got in the IPO tripled, then I get more than my $50,000 at the end of the day. If my $88,000 tripled, then boy, I only get half of the money I put in. I get back half of the money I put in.
Yeah.
So it's the bigger investors those are a disadvantage there. It's the same thing we mentioned about on the market. You very typically get less returns with much bigger money because it's hard to move kind of thing. The share of the pie is there, but you grabbing this small amount only means so much to you.
Yeah.
So that's how we say work with percentage. It's not dollars. I can't get up and vex say Randy come with $1 million in an IPO and I not getting $1 million out. If I know what $1 million to go, work your way there and you build up to a thing there. So you with your 500,000, I figure you're vexed like your 500,000 only get the 88,000, right? But yeah, work with what you can get out of your money.
And
Okay.
and
It's
and
not an injustice. Please don't frame it like that. It almost sounding like that. Like, boy, the bigger money, I might get something, we now get it.
yeah,
No.
everybody is ready to eat the rich. It's don't be the guts. That last point I mentioned is still needed. So it means if you're applying to the IPO, not telling you to do this, but for using like these examples, if you had applied in JFP's IPO and you only got JFP, you'd have gotten like I think worked out on 100 grand, you'd have only gotten 30%. You'd have gotten 12.5, right? So
Yeah.
let's say you had 100 grand, you'd have gotten 12.5.
12,500 shares, right?
No, that's the base amount you'd have gotten, and then you'd have gotten 22.8% of the money of the shares that you applied for above that. So you'd have gotten another
Yeah.
19,950 shares. So you put all of that together, you get 32,450 shares if you applied for 100,000 shares, right? And not including the JCSD fee in that. So 32,450 shares. No, not imagine that you apply for 100,000, you only get 32% of it. The real gain then, assuming that you really believe in the company, is to buy it when it lists. And that's where the guts fail a lot of people, because them say, what, me not buy it the next? May I buy it for 28% more, or 64% more, or 90% more? Or if you look at like Spur Tree, a few days later, I'm not buying for 257% more. Or if you look for at Learn, I'm not buying it for 132% more. But the person who bought it for 132% more is now in profit on a larger amount. Yes, the profit is not as large as if you got it all in the IPO. But the reality of how an IPO works is that you're not going to get it all in the IPO if the company is good. If the company is good
Yeah.
and well wanted, you're not going
There's
to
a
get it
reason never
all.
get caught. Everybody else wants it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the pie is good
So
and mommy have to share it up, it means they're gonna share small. You want more, you have to get it on the secondary market. You have to get it on the market.
Okay.
as Randy always said, you're not buying for where it's coming from. You're not buying for where it is. It's where it's going. You're
Yeah.
not buying a stock because it moved 100%. You're buying it because you think it's going to, right? So you look at the IPO and say to yourself, all right, cool. How much I think, and I put in at $1, how far it's going to go? And then you look at that and you say, wait, if I got $3.50, then $2 good, $1.50 good, even $2.50 good. You just
Yeah.
buy there. So, and if you got in the IPO, everything you get it at it's not at the 200. It's not at 2. It's not everything you get it at 250. You have a nice average price because you got a good amount in the IPO. So use
Yeah.
that. Don't just watch IPO. The whole strategy isn't apply to the IPO and ignore the rest of the market. It's going to list. Is it good when it lists? The price on the market good for you? Take it.
Okay. Solid advice. I like that. I like that. I guess I was just like really, I guess I was looking at it from the standpoint of the argument seemed to be always around if you got that IPO, then you would be up by X amount, and not so much the adding on that you can also be buying it in those subsequent weeks and increasing your volume. So this was very good. So thank you for that explanation.
Why the talk is there just to frame it from this is where it's coming from. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of profit in between. If I get 70% on all my money in an IPO, that's still within a month or so.
Yeah.
That's a good 5 years on the market.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just for the context that we do it, but it's not to say that you're going to get it to the IPO, because you're right, the IPO is good, you're not going to get it all like that. That's why sometimes you hear me talk about getting it the day or two after, because you have to get it a day or two after. If it's good, that's just how it works.
Yeah. Okay. So then I had one final question. And this is in relation to being a top 10 shareholder, right? I know we talk about it a lot jokingly, right, on Brick Talk, and I know that in Grow we spoke about, one of the benefits of buying shares or having stocks is that you have voting rights, right? So my question was, when you become a top 10 shareholder, is it just bragging rights, or does that actually mean something for you in the grand scheme of the company and the company's trajectory? So when rights issues come about, or APO, do you have any special talk that those who aren't top 10 don't have? Like, what is the incentive for being a top 10 shareholder is my question.
Right. I'm not even bragging, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just had money. That's really it.
Yeah.
What it is, I got to buy, and I ended up buying more than most people. I bought to the point where I am the guy with the 10th most shares.
Okay. So you don't get a special seat at the table with the boss and the CEO?
No, but you remember from Grow.
They don't even know you.
You get a special seat at the table. You are legally able to demand a special seat at the table once you pass 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what you get, a special seat at the table with once you hit 10%. Now you might
10%.
Yeah, it depends on how the company is set up. It's very possible you can get on the top 10 list and not touch 10%. Not
Not
only
even one
10%.
sometime.
Yeah. That's why you actually have to check the
Yeah.
percentages. So remember, like those principles from Grow are principles they're principles because they're true if you have 1 share or if you have 1 million shares. Check the percentage ownership. 10% matters. 5%, 10% matters. 15% matters. 20% matters. 50% matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. I was just wondering if there's some magic about being a top 10 shareholder, but okay.
No,
Thank
it
you
just
for
means you have
It's
clarifying
true.
that.
At most, it's just nice to see. It's all cool.
Yeah. It just means that you
And
own a lot of shares. You have a lot of money.
And
Yeah.
when you hear us celebrating it, it's a lot of it is typical. Is really cool. We know where this person coming from, what they're doing,
Yeah.
and thing there, and we know what it did to get them to that point.
Okay.
Like we talk about Sir Phil when he's top 10. Like, we
Yeah.
know a part of the journey there, and yeah, him really put a lot into it, and then that's the idea.
Yeah.
It's not really, boy. It's no bragging rights more than so.
Yeah. But then I think last week Randy was saying that it's a completely different strategy to exit the stock when you are at such a high level. So how would somebody get rid of if it's how would you get rid of however many stocks you have if you're in top 10
Somebody
The
will
fairly?
buy it.
the same way you get rid of however many stocks if you only have one. The only way you can get rid of stocks, you know that. That's why I say it's a principle. It works at 1, it works at 1 million.
Somebody have to buy it. Same way, so.
But I guess what I'm trying to get at, it depends on how heavily traded this stock is, right? What kind of volumes move,
It no
right?
matter.
So for example, it
No,
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter how you can only sell if somebody is buying. You can only buy if somebody is selling.
so yeah, I think you're talking about the intricacies of getting that sale, and I think it'll be different across the board.
Yeah.
Just look at the stock you're in. If it works out, it works out. As long as somebody coming to buy from you, you are good.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
You are
no
very,
problem.
very
Miss
welcome.
Nyla, best up.
Big up,
All
big
right.
up, big up. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
and I think I don't think we have a lot of people coming on this evening, and as long as they don't pressure us, I thought they'd come on and pressure us to talk more about the stocks, especially the hot stock now. But I guess not. If people afraid, then I don't mind again another early
That's
evening.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't mind an early evening also. So, Miss Nile, I guess you got to be our last call unless somebody. Well, there's somebody in at the end. Let me see if it's somebody that we want to get on. Of course, this person was CRLB underscore CRLB
It's a
underscore.
rich man thing that, you know.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Dunwell. Can you hear us, Sir Dunwell?
Yeah, man, I can hear you guys.
Oh,
We got
okay.
J.A. Cripps.
But join late. But today on the road, I'm actually on my way home now. So I would have missed basically all of the conversation, but I'm not sure if you guys would have discussed the discounts which will be available next week as everybody tries to rush
The dollar.
dollar. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys
We didn't.
discussed the discounts that may possibly pop up.
We didn't. I actually thought to mention it, and then I said I will leave it alone. I mean, you're gonna see the tweets next week. While people are looking at dollar, there's a lot of discounts out there, guys.
Don't
They're
tell
not
the
necessarily
market.
wrong.
I'm gonna say it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be said. It's going to be true. There's already great discounts on the market right now. But they're gonna be great. Next week is going to be a wonderful buying opportunity, to put in wonderful terms. But Mr. CRLB, Sir Dunwell, you sound like you have some things in mind that are going to be at discount. What do you think going to be at discount?
So I believe that some of the more popular stocks that persons have that are of higher liquidity, persons probably say, all right, then we can exit because easier exit, and even a stock such as Fosrich. So a stock such as Fosrich, where we know the corporate actions that are coming and we know the dates around them, and we see where it's trading now, and then we see the selling pressure already started even before the release of the prospectus, and I expect added selling pressure. So I think that's one that a discount may very well um,
Show itself
present
in.
itself and suit someone who would be interested in holding Fosrich.
Yeah, yeah. I could add to that. I think maybe all of the IPOs, all of the recent IPOs, I would not be surprised if a lot of people jumped into them to make a flip, to make a money. Another IPO come along, I would not be surprised if a lot of people jump out to jump into other things.
Yep.
And either when refunds come back or dollar finds that price where it was settled at, then all of that which would have been made, the possible run up of dollar fine than that.
Boy, I think the network take everything you said a while ago, but actually why you say it again, because it sounds like it sounds like it makes sense. So say that again.
Yeah, all right. So I was saying that after dollar level of where it will trade after the expected run up, then the money will go back to those stocks, and what I'm expecting is more money than if this will go back to them, given that most persons would have possibly made some amount of significant gain from dollar. So more cash pulled from we know fast use.
Yep. Yeah, talk about some of the strategy, but so the money making, whoever the CRB guys, know about the money, because that's a money man strategy where the IPO is not as exciting for you anymore because you can't force the millions into it. Why not just sit and wait? Because as people dump, the buying opportunities start presenting themselves. Yeah,
Yep.
man.
But my thought from the plane, say. Money talk.
Yeah. Engines sound loud. Yeah. He did say he was flying back
we were
home.
flying aircraft.
He did say he was flying back home. Yeah, man. You're 100% correct. That's actually the thing I'm excited about. In my mind, throughout this whole thing, all I'm clocking is which companies are going to give me that wonderful dip and jump back later. Which companies are obviously undervalued or obviously about to fly. Dollar come along and people forget and rush, got them rush into dollar, and they're gonna sell me something for a lot less than they should have. And and then maybe I'll sell them back a little later on for a lot more.
And it's funny if you know people, you realize how quick they regret. Boy, sell every IPO, Amanda, say they sell thing there for thing there. Yeah, I get money in the IPO. I shouldn't leave that one. Because boy, run. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope the grower guards paying attention to like this, right? Because there's a whole heap of profit out there. The market is really filling out. Really filling out. Loads of opportunities. Dollar is a brick in the middle of the pond that will send out a whole heap of ripples. You mentioned one, Fosrich, which I think is gonna sell down. Like I say, I think almost all of the 2022 IPOs are also going to
2022.
Yeah, 2022. I think all of them are good. There's my watch list that I have on My Money JA that I'm watching what has been happening with all of these IPOs that have come so far. So dollar is gonna be added to this soon. In fact, I think I can add dollar to it right now, but it's not ready. It obviously isn't trading yet. But yeah, big up, Sir Dunwell.
Indeed, every time.
Yeah, man, every time, bros. Big up.
All right, cool.
You know, so
cool,
man
cool.
does share the NCB. And just share the funds as at May 90, 2022.
Yeah,
In the
let's look
group.
at them now. Let's look at all. I don't mind sharing. It's from the newspaper. What are you saying, Danai? While you talk, I'm just going through them.
I'm looking at NCB year to date on the E fund. That's crazy, bro.
Equity fund. Damn, I did not know that NCB remembered how to make money in the equity market. Look at that. Congrats. Year to date growth rate. Like, look at the negatives coming down the line, except for here.
Yeah, and then
15.4%.
15% on the market.
Jesus.
Damn.
Big up whoever managed that fund.
Yeah, they seem to know what they're doing.
Seem like they're doing good things over there.
They seem to know what they're doing.
But watch this now. Look on thing there. That's statutory fund. That's 23% for the full year, 10% for a full 1 year period, 10% up year to date.
10.4% up year to date. Yep.
Repeat that, Danai.
That's a statutory fund. That's 23% over a 1 year period, 10% up year to date. In my mind, I'm gonna have to watch that race to say if there's going to be a point where the NCB fund pass out a full 1 year performance for that equity fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, the race heating up, but we'll see how it goes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I haven't watched much of this race, but I think it might be interesting.
Yeah, it might be very interesting. This is not where I usually look. As people can see, look at all the negatives, but it really, this fund has found some steam, boy. 15.4% on a big fund like that year to date.
That's a good year in a fund. That's a good year in a fund.
Yeah, of course, it's a great year in a fund.
I mean, check the 12-month growth rates across all the funds, and actually, it's only one of them beating the year to date for this one fund. It's literally only the 23% beating the year to date for that fund. Over a 1 year, everybody else is lower than 15%. That's wow.
Yeah, that's impressive. There are no bonds giving that right now, you know. Literally no bonds giving that now. No structured product.
Bonds will give you 15 if you get the money back.
That's true. Did you say
15% bond at your own peril?
Yeah. Damn. That's an impressive move. I'm sorry. There's no going around it. That is an impressive move. Wow.
For the funds that move like iron balloon more while. This is
in this market. I guess the market is not down. Anyway, big up NCB for the free ad them just get and all the other funds. Yeah. People look at this and you'll understand why it is that I encourage you to invest on your own.
Bros, blessings.
Yeah, man. Big up. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think we have anybody else setting any speaking requests.
Fine by me.
Yeah, I think I'll call time on it tonight. A nice early night is midnight again. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Danai, for hosting this with me, and thank you for everybody who came in and sent a message or sent a tweet. The people on let me tell the end results of these polls. So the people on YouTube, the end result of the YouTube poll now at the 3 hour mark, 138 votes, and I think it was 68%. It just disappeared. 58%. 58% said yes, their JC portfolio is down. Currently 41% say no. And on Twitter, I'm gonna end this one early, like Glino. It is, or like Trump said, stop the count. We are at 44% with a yes. 44% saying yes, their portfolio is on 44.7, and 47.2 saying no, it's not, and 8.1 saying they don't know. And that's after 235 votes. There you have it. I guess the people who watch YouTube need to sharpen up them skills. The people on Twitter sharp already and might need to get sharp. And the 8% who don't know, go to mymoneyja.com and track your portfolio. Yeah, if you want to learn, the people who are saying yes, come to Grow, www.everymickle.com/GRWR. You'll learn how to do it. If you don't want to learn, you can't bother learn, go to dhalladvisory.com and have Danai tell you what to do. Book your session and he'll tell you what to do. That's the easy version. If you're smart, you do both. If you do one, you get a discount to the other. So, having said all of that, thank you guys very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Brick Talk, and we'll see you again next week. Big up.
I want people best up.
All right. Night, everybody.